perfume. It's a highway, highway to the door, and a neon Medusa's got your heart. Sweet canyon lullaby, don't look straight into its eyes. It's a highway, highway to the door. There's only two ways to make it in this town. One is to be brilliant, the other is to drown. But don't take both drugs all in one go. You can't reach the heavens passed out on the floor. It's a highway, highway to the door, and a neon Medusa's got your heart. Sweet canyon lullabies, don't look straight into its eyes. It's a highway, highway to the door. If your mama could see you now, if your mama could see you now, topless and upside down, the room spinning around. If your mama could see you now, with the party lines coming out, are you lost or are you found? And there are too many mirrors in this Don't fall in love with the man on stage. I'll be on in a minute, then I'll sweep you away. Don't fall for the monsters in this maze, but I could love you forever if you'd meet my gaze. perfume. It's a highway, highway to the door, and a neon Medusa's got your heart. Sweet canyon lullabies, don't look straight into its eyes. It's a highway, highway to the door. There's only two ways to make it in this town. One is to be brilliant, the other is to drown. But don't take both drugs all in one go. You can't reach the heavens passed out on the floor. It's a highway, highway to the door, and a neon Medusa's got your heart. Sweet canyon lullabies, don't look straight into its eyes. It's a highway, highway to the door. If your mama could see you now, if your mama could see you now, topless and upside down, spinning around. If your mama could see you now, with the party lines coming out, are you lost or are you found? Are there too many mirrors in this
Hello, welcome back. We have officially reached Tuesday, although it feels like a Wednesday, which makes me sad because it's not a Wednesday. And a Wednesday means we're closer to the weekend, which I would prefer. But anyway, we're back. We're doing Ghost of Tsushima again because I was on a roll yesterday and I was enjoying it, so I want to keep going. I want to keep up that momentum. I want to continue gaining my ninja skills until I can become the #1 ninja. I can usurp Gordon and become the best ninja with the ninja headband. But yeah, welcome in. Congratulations to Sin for once again being worst person of stream and officially stinky. Yeah, I'm gonna say this: winter, fuck winter. I'm currently in the worst point of my year. Like there are two parts of the year that are always the worst for me. August, because it's like the middle of fucking winter, and like January, February. They're always like the worst times of the year for me. And I know once I get over this, like everything will be fine. Once I get to spring, I can start functioning like a real person again. But for the meantime, I'm just like, oh, winter. Which is also extra frustrating because my family seem to do this thing, particularly my mum, where once it comes to like wintertime, we both get a bit stir crazy, right? And it was even worse when I was living with my parents. In the sense that, like, we both get a bit stir crazy, but I'm stir crazy in the sense of I'm like, I just need a routine. I need to not think. I just need to kind of do the same shit every day and not think until I get out of winter, at which point the sun will allow my brain to function again. Whereas mum's the opposite. She gets to winter and she's like, I'm stir crazy. I need to do things. I need to rearrange the house. I need to do something. And so she keeps trying to rope me into things. She keeps being like, Ando, your father and I are going on a diet. You should join us. we'll make it a family thing. Like we can, you know, compete against each other or whatever. I'm like, no, please, mum, no. No, I just need routine. I need to not think for a month, please. But anyway, we're gonna get into the Ghost of Tsushima. I'm gonna plug in my controller. Oh, the other one that's funny as well. So mum started looking for books to read. My mum likes to read. She's always been a pretty avid reader. But my brother lent her something recently. And we got to talking about cyberpunk for some reason. She read it and something. She was like, I saw the word cyberpunk, and she was like, Ando, explain to me what cyberpunk is. You know these things. And I kind of told her what it was. And I kind of told her, I was like, yeah, it's based off a lot of like 80s, 70s era sci-fi books, like sort of stuff that you'd like, because my mom actually does quite like classic sci-fi. Like she really enjoys Dune. She really likes Asimov, stuff like that. And so I told her about Neuromancer and gave her kind of like a rundown of that, and she was like, yeah, lend it to me sometime. So I lent her my copy of Neuromancer. Apparently she keeps losing it. She keeps leaving it around the house, and she's like, Ando, this book you lent me, it's terrible. I can't find it. I'm like, okay, well, aside from that, you're enjoying it? She's like, oh yeah, it's really good. The writing's great. That, and she keeps messaging me. Like, I got a text from her the other day that was like, Ando, what is a shuriken? And I was like, oh, it's like a ninja star. And she's like, okay, I get it. Because she's like, the author keeps referencing Japanese things and I don't know what it means. But I'm glad she's having a fun time, but it's still one of those things where, again, I'm glad she's enjoying it, but also I'm just like, please, mother, I need to not think right now. Anyway, we'll continue with the Ghost of Tsushima. Also, I kind of, again, the fact that mum's reading Cyberpunk keeps making me be like, I need more Cyberpunk. But I've done all the Cyberpunk. So now I just need to wait for CD Projekt Red to do another Cyberpunk game. Wait, why are we inside a house? We were inside of a house last time. Guess maybe we were close enough to like a farm or whatever when we saved. Oh no, we were, because we were outside, because that was the... This is the farm with the dude. The guy. The babe. Babe with the power. Power of voodoo. Reminds me of the babe. It's funny, I think I've seen that film like once. And yet, because my friendship circle from like high school and stuff always used to quote it. I have so many Labyrinth quotes stuck in my head. I gotta admit that David Bowie's The Goblin King was a phenomenal cast. That's a hole in the ground. Man, what a fucking loss. Not having David Bowie in the world anymore. What an absolute mad lad David Bowie was. Sure, boo. Let's fucking go. You gotta accept my Ninja Challenge card. Yeah, David Bowie was an absolute mad lad. Like, back in the 70s, calling out MTV. Because they were like, hey, David Bowie, come on our program and talk about your music. And he was like, hey, how about you have more, like, black American artists on MTV? And they were like, oh, I don't know about that. And he's like, yeah, that's a cop-out. Fucking do it. Get fucking yeeted. Absolute Chad David Bowie. Rescue this man. Yes, you are. Become my... What's the word? My serf. Become my, my feudal underling. Work my farms for me. Ooh. Tadayori's armor. Oh, that's right. Tadayori's the archer. That's right. Oh, that's right. You're not my horse. You're some Reina Mongol's horse. This is my horse. My apologies, Kage. Kage, the Shadow Wind. Is Kage? I can't remember. My Japanese is very rusty. I probably should do something with my language skills. Because again, I studied Japanese at high school and for a bit at university. I wasn't terrible at it. I wasn't good at it either, but I wasn't terrible. I think the hardest part for me was maintaining interest, because I am relatively antisocial by nature, and... Oh, hang on a minute. I have a... Sorry, Fox. I have men to kill. Is there a bear? Oh, there's a fucking bear. Of course there's a fucking bear. Ooh. Now. There we go. Sorry, Fox. Yeah, so I'm kind of antisocial as fuck. Which is why Japanese was kind of difficult, because I think a lot of Japanese language courses are structured around the idea of socialization. And again, socializing is a good way to get language skill up. But I think, let me rephrase, a lot of it is structured around normies socializing. So, and like talking about, like, again, high school, a lot of it was like, you know, kokosei no ato de nani o shimasu ka, nani ga hoshii ka, like, you know, when you're finished high school, what do you want to do? And I am very much not one for future planning. I'm bad at it. I kind of tend to have vague goals that I operate towards. And so I always found answering a lot of that sort of stuff incredibly difficult. Because, you know, they'd be like, Ando-kun, you know, kokosei no ato de nani o shimasu ka? And I'd be like, oh, nandemo nai, you know, nothing in particular. And my sensei always used to get mad at me because she was just like, Ando-kun, just lie. Just make up something. That's kind of tricky for someone like me because, again, like, when you have no real plans, there's nothing that you can conceive as a potential future plan, right? Like, it's like you're not even thinking about what you want to do in the future, and you don't even ask what other people are thinking about for the future. So it's not even like I could just copy someone else's plan. Let's go over here. That's why I've always like, I've tried this a couple of times, but I've never really succeeded. I've tried to find, like, is there like a how to speak Japanese course for, like, people like me who are huge fucking nerds, or like how to speak Japanese, like, you know, for learning about Japanese history or something. 'Cause I think, like, that's stuff that I could, like, really get into and, like, lock in on. I think it's true for a lot of stuff, though. Sneaky, sneaky. Sneaky, sneaky. Okay, defeat the Mongols, kill using a perfect parry. Okay, find and observe the Mongol leader. I think that's the Mongol leader. Ow. Don't you ting-twing me.
амар нэг юм харгу. Явцгач. Гэхдээ болгоомжтой.
Boom, headshot. Wasps. Don't upset the wasps. I'm learning. Tell me your secrets. You'll get the moon stance. Although I have heard that moon stance, once you get it, is kind of like just auto win. Swing. Oop. Nice. It's taking a long time for him to die. Door stuck. There we go. Didn't get the perfect parry, but oh well. Got the iron. Wasn't there arrows? Yeah, there was. Okay, I did get arrow. I got heavy arrows. Nice. I would like to be able to carry more than 4 heavy arrows. That would be appreciated. Burb, are you leading me to a place of serenity, Burb? Let's fucking go. Correct. Accurate statement, Mike. Swing. See, that's where you need to improve your imagination, Epical. I can imagine calling someone stinky when I'm smelly. Because I did it. Ow. See, Mike, this is why you need to up your game. You've showered in the past week. Weakness. You gotta let it marinate more. See, it's big shower. They've tried to convince us that the manly musk is something that must be hidden. They're trying to conceal our true power. Subscribe to my Substack now to learn more. Exactly, just let it crust. It's called crust punk for a reason. Don't you love that, Mike? There's a black metal band that a friend introduced me to. And I described them as they sound like every mid-2000s psycho anime. So like it sounds like something from Ergo Proxy, and I mean this in a good way. And I think they're a pretty good band. But the band's name is literally just Sadness. They're literally just called Sadness. And I'm like, who the fuck calls a band Sadness? Let's reflect on the waterfall. Overwhelming force. Towering above. Calm before the storm. Let's go overwhelming force. Imperial force defied. Oh fuck yeah, I'm gonna play Shirayama when I get to the final battle. I should crank Shirayama. Even though it's the wrong era. Overtaking all it sees. Constant haze envelops. Heading to Uncertainty. Yeah, Heading to Uncertainty. That sounds cool. What are you listening to? Sadness, exactly. Hey everyone, we're Sadness. Listen to our 13-minute song. I don't think that song's 13 minutes. I think it's 8. But anyway, rushing to the end. Fleeing warmth and light. Ew. Reaching from within. Yeah, that's probably true. I still love the one-man Ukrainian black metal project that is Kektarak, just because of the fact that it does sound so, like, it sounds like a black metal name, right? Like it probably has no meaning. It's like, oh fuck, what's that band? Oof. Thank you, Callie, for the big yeet. Also, Overwhelming Force is a good band name, Farm. I'm pretty sure it probably is a band name. I'm trying to remember, what was that band, that, oh, that's it, that was it, like, Thal or whatever. There was some band that came up with this thing that everyone used to refer to them, which was Thal or something like that, and everyone would be like, what does Thal actually mean? And they're like, Thal means Thal. There is no actual meaning to it. But yeah, I love Kektarak because Kektarak A makes good music, and also, yeah, was it Village Harder? Was it? I can't remember. Because again, my brain is full of too many metal memes. Like, who was it? There was another metal band that had this riff that was like, well, I don't know if they were metal, they were more like a hardcore band. But they had this riff that was in one of their songs, which was "Welcome to America, more wealth per capita." Because of the pronunciation, people misheard it, and the meme became like, "Welcome to America, more milk than Canada." To the point that, like, they would come on stage with like 2-liter jugs of milk and chug them during the song. But yeah, circling back to Kektarak, the other thing I love about Kektarak is just the whole meme, which isn't even from Pale Swordsman. I don't know why the meme is like, Wandering the Night, Pale Swordsman, but it's not even from Pale Swordsman, it's from, Thorns, I think. Pretty sure it's from Thorns. The whole, Pale Swordsman, where are we going? Legends, another Fox Shrine, another Mongolia. Crown of Violence. All right, let's go see the Adachi's. Yeah, that's true. That's one of the things I really appreciate about why is it now that I'm about to say their name I blank out on them? You know the one I'm talking about, the World War I themed black metal band. Canon and Fiber, that's it. Canon and Fiber. You do know the one, and I remembered who they are because my brain is wonderful and not at all smooth. Swing, yeah. Canon and Fiber. They're good World War I black metal without actually being, you know, racists. Oh, nice. Yeah, I guess you could call them martial industrial X black metal. I don't know. You know my opinion on genres, Mike. What do you mean enemies nearby? I killed all of them. Exactly, Farm. It's an authentic part of the historiosity. Those two wars weren't different at all, were they? I once had someone try and argue that with me. And again, I get the whole argument of, like, yes, World War I was just a prelude to World War II or whatever. Like, I get the arguments of they're interconnected. But I did once have someone try and argue with me that, like, they were like... it was exactly the same thing. I was just like, literally no. Your argument is entirely nonsensical. Oh, she gave me a small gift. She gave me omiyage. Excellent. Exactly. 2 suns. Double sun power! Man. I remember those Old Spice commercials. The Terry Crews ones, not the other guy who has more or less been forgotten at this point. Yeah, yes and no. I mean, I could go into a lengthy debate on the nature of those 2 continental wars, the breakdown of the continental system, you know, the rise of globalism, decolonization. There's a lot going on between the two. Okay. Not me. So I'm allowed to use it. Fuck yes, I get to use the racer symbol. Thank you for your permission, Mike. Thank you for the pass. I'm now going to brand all of my stuff with the black sun symbol because I'm allowed to, because Mike said so. And if anyone asks me why I'm using it, I'm going to say because Mike said I'm allowed to. Thank you for that permission. But yeah, no, I get it. I get the whole it is not a thing of originality, it is a thing of modern interpretation that is also used by, shall we say, unsavory folks. There's a lot of that sort of stuff. It's like the whole concept of Bushido, which is actually, again, I'm going to talk about it because we are playing Ghost of Tsushima, but the whole like Bushido thing didn't actually really exist. Oh cool, I got a hat. Thank you Bird. So like Bushido, it's like chivalry. The concept existed at the time but was never really formalized. Oh, Swordmaster's hat. Feathered sword hat. Yeah, let's do this one. Well, actually, I'll talk about bird hats in a minute, but yeah, like the idea of like chivalry was never really formalized back in the day. It was this idea of kind of just like, oh hey, this is the way we do things, but no one ever actually said, hey, this is the formal rules of how you do it. And again, like it's interesting to read about. But the thing is, a lot of the books on Bushido were written after the samurai system had already been abolished. A lot of them were written in like the 1880s and stuff by people who weren't really samurai, and a lot of them were Japanese nationalists. So they codified a lot of stuff as kind of this idea of like, yes, this is Bushido is the indomitable Japanese spirit. It's the character of us as a nation. But a lot of this stuff wasn't really formalized back in the day. And a lot of the time, again, Bushido, or how to conduct yourself as a samurai, or again, chivalry in Europe as a air quotes knight, was more or less whatever I fucking say it is. Oof. Yeah, big oof there, farm. He was a double electrician. He was really good at his job. Shockingly good. Yeah, because again, like there are books like what is it? The Book of Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi, right? Like that's an authentic period era book written by a samurai about the nature of being a samurai and of, you know, how to be a warrior, stuff like that. But it doesn't really refer to Bushido as such. Again, it was a much later concept, and it led to, yeah, exactly. But well, and also the other thing is as well is that the terminology of Viking is, again, Michael probably actually me in this one, but if memory serves, like Viking specifically referred to those raiding, like those going abroad to steal shit. You know, the like it was a verb as much as it was an adjective. You know, to go Viking, to go raiding. Yes, exactly, farm. The idea of a feudal thing viewed through the lens of nationalism, which is one of the things I do find interesting reading some of the interpretations of it when it's kind of like, hey, you know, because a lot of, particularly again with things like race and stuff like that, people be like, oh yeah, like, you know, people were always racist, and it's like, yeah, but not in the way you expect. Often it was much more about like, oh, you live on this side of the river and you speak a slightly different dialect of Frankish. Yes, exactly. Thank you, farm, for suitably correcting my Norse even though I'm dubious of whether or not it's actually correct. Well, again, epical. It can be both, and this is the reason why it's one of those things where, again, it was never formalized. You know, chivalry is what I say it is. Chivalry can be treating women correctly. Chivalry can be, you know, being pious and respectful to the god and to your king and all that sort of stuff. Chivalry can also be beating someone to death with, you know, a mace in honorable combat. And it was like that, like a great example of it is the well, I was gonna say that, well, maybe the puckle gun, but it was more the case of, like, I remember I did a thing on this at university, which was about dueling and the idea of dueling and, like, the cultural impact of dueling and, like, the rise and fall of it. And an interesting part of it was this concept of people having honor and people not having honor. So, like, if I was a knight and another knight offended me, I could challenge him to a duel, right? And that would be the right and proper thing to do. But if a peasant offended me, it was beneath me to challenge him to a duel. Instead, I could literally just beat him with my riding cane instead. Like, it was this idea of, like, you don't need to treat those without honor with honor. Like, the idea of, like, you know, chivalry and stuff like that. It's kind of like, oh yeah, you have to behave honorably in certain contexts but not in others, which is interesting because, again, this occurred both in a lot of feudal systems. It occurred in feudal Europe and also in feudal Japan. This idea of, like, you know, someone who is considered to be a peasant you could just mistreat, which is why I think it's pretty good that we're no longer in a feudal system, despite what some people seem to insist. There's some weird alternative history folks on YouTube who are like, yeah, this is why we should go back to a feudal system where having a king was a good thing. And I'm like, no, you would not be of the nobility, you would be a peasant. Yeah, exactly. Again, it wasn't a career. And this is the other thing, I actually wrote an essay on this again in uni. Wait, Mike, is that House Party game, is that the one that you're not allowed to play on Twitch? Is that the one that they've, like, forbade because it has too much booba or whatever in it? Oh yeah, I forgot peasants worked less in those days, which is why we don't need unions anymore. But yeah, no, I wrote an essay when I was at uni about conflict in relation to abundance of resources, and about how the reason why, like, the Dane, or I guess, yeah, the like Dano-Swedish raiding culture declined over time, and a large part of that was because of the fact that as they raided Europe, they went, hey, these guys are really good at farming, and they learned all their farming techniques, and then were like, cool, we don't need to raid anymore because we know how to farm. Now, to be clear, they did already know how to farm. It was just that they were not quite as good at farming. So the idea was, it's like, cool, now we know how to farm, we don't need to raid people because we can make enough food to have all the wealth we need. Well, yeah, exactly. It was yeah, alternative paths of wealth rather than needing to rob people. And also, like, with the Dane law in England, they were like, hey, we can just settle here instead of having to come back every time. We can just stay here and farm. Which is weird, because then again you get all the weird neo-pagans who are like, this is where agriculture is bad. The weird intersection between neo-pagans and anarcho-primitivists who are like, agriculture is bad. It makes society bad because it forms hierarchy and you don't go raiding people anymore. I'm like, huh? Nani? Where is the door? Where is the door? Door. Door Doko. Oh, there's the door. Door Nani.
雅子様に殺されてしまいます。目を見れば。
Yeah, that's what you get for marrying a traitor.
主の無事は受け合おう。手を貸してくれるならば。
知ってることはすべて話しました。
八郎が文の運び手ならば、どこかで貞夫と会うだろう。うかうかして。
Tell me where the man is. Tell me where the man is.
どうかお助けくださ
Do
い。
you see this hat? Tell me where the man is.
俺が二人を見つけねば。まずは隠れ家だ。心当たりは。
考えてみます。
忘れてはならぬぞ。貞夫は人を殺したのだ。
I mean, when you think about it, really, I'm being chivalrous and I'm doing her the courtesy of asking her for information. Realistically, just being someone's wife, she wouldn't be considered to be a person.
隠れ家を思い出させておるところです。
何を見返りに？
歩きましょう。
声が届かぬ場所までな。
Actually, I do kind of like her katanas. I do like that she's got the really vibrant turquoise
歴の約束をしようって
wrap.
ヒナの信用を得たかったのです。
嘘をついたのだな。
救えるならば救いましょう。嘘ではない。
失敗したらどう弁明するのだ。
貞夫の罪は深く、政子殿の裁きに物申す気はないと。
館のあらゆるものが
See, I like that Jin had an answer there.
を思い出させる。
あなたの親里にはどなたかいらっしゃるはず。訪ねてみては。
兄は数年前に死んでしまった。そして姉も殺された。
Let us sit.
金色の帯で見分けるのがやっとだったがな。
思い出させてしまいましたね。
Yeah, well, I don't know.
できぬ。あの音楽が懐かしい。
I mean, in theory, she could potentially join the estate of Lady Adachi. She probably won't, but I have seen that and stuff before.
もう二度と聞くことができぬとはな。
And actually, that was a pretty common one. In this case, possibly. Okay, play my flute. Excellent. I was gonna say in Japan, it was actually a pretty common one. Was honorable death is right there, but I was gonna say the a common one in Japan was actually hostage taking. So you'd be like, cool, I've beaten you in battle and I don't want to kill you, but I'll take your family hostage instead. So they'll live here honorably and like under my protection. Air quotes. I.e., I'll kill them if you try and betray me again. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually what we try and pull here, where we're like, hey dude, we've got your wife. Give us the info we want. And your wife will stay in our household and like be a retainer to the lady.
館へ急げ。
See, fucking Jin, you're out here playing the flute, wasting time, letting people murder your informant. Let me guess, the husband's shown up and killed her. Oh, they came straight through the door. They did a me.
己、
ヒナ、
視覚を捉えるぞ。急げ。
辺りを調べよ
Better look around. Where's some clues? This is one thing I don't like about this game, where they show you where all the clues are. I would much prefer if they did this like a Witcher 3, where you have to use your like Witcher sense to track things. I do like that they don't show you the footprints though in tracking mode. I do like that you just have to kind of follow them on the ground. But yeah, that was actually part of how Japan maintained the
から遠ざけるためであろう。
う。すべて筒抜けであった。
yeah, fucking Morrowind.
館に向かう道中で姿を見
Figure out what the fuck you're doing.
あえて見せたのでは。おとりに使ったのですね。
貞夫が来ると踏んだのだ。
その挙句にヒナが死にました。
殺したのは裏切り者だぞ。
仕向けたのはあなたです。
There's some footsteps. Excellent. I was gonna say, yeah. Japan actually functioned for a long time on that system in the Bakufu government of the Tokugawa shogunate, where it was basically like, oh yeah, everyone has to like send part of their family to go and live in the shogun's household, so you could basically hold all the major lords like hostage essentially. That, and it was also quite clever in how the Bakufu worked, in that because you had to spend, I think it was a third of the year at court. It meant that the guys who were most likely to rebel, who were the lords furthest from Edo, had to travel the furthest, which meant they had spent most of their time traveling, and also had to spend a lot of money on traveling to get to Edo. That they didn't have the money or the time to organize rebellions, which I think is kind of clever. Exactly, Japanese peasants work less days per year, and therefore this is why we don't need unions. This message totally not brought to you by the people who hate unions. See, peasants were protected by their benevolent nobles, and not at all abused. I'm here. Ow. Get yeeted. No, not you. Yes, me.
八郎、貞夫の弟だな。
なぜヒナを殺した？
Exactly. Exactly. If peasants didn't want to be peasants, they should have worked harder. Pull themselves up by their sandal straps or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what peasants wore. Probably nothing. They're peasants after all. Swear to me. Where is she? Where are they? Rachel.
死んではならぬ。あやつの居所を吐け。
政子殿。
You can't die. I forbid it.
ヒナは無駄死にでした。
犯人は我が一族を皆殺しにしたものだ。諦めてなるものか。
八郎は文を届けていた。もしかすると。
何かあったか。
Map belonged to Hachi, brother of Sadao, headman of Kuda Farmstead. Supply routes.
補給路の地図です。
野営に食料を運んでおったのか。貞夫がいずれかに隠れておるやもな。一番近い野営のまとめ役に話を聞け。
I've talked about this before, but book series I kind of grew up reading was the Tales of Yotori, Across the Nightingale Floor. Pretty sure it's Across the Nightingale Floor, Grass for His Pillow, Light of the Moon. They're the main three. And then there's the one after it, which is Harsh Cry of the Heron, that I didn't read because I know how it ends and I wasn't keen on it. And then the prequel, which is Heaven's Net is Wide, which I did quite enjoy. But yeah, they're pretty good books. I recommend reading them. But yeah, they do a lot of kind of similar stuff to this. With the whole, like, you know, allying with a guy because they know it'll bait someone into, like, attacking them or whatever. And things like that. And people, betraying other people. It's yeah, some of it is kind of fucked up at point. Well, I wouldn't say fucked up, but, like, you kind of go, ooh, big oof, when certain characters, you find out they've died, and it's like, why did they die? And it's like, well, because it turns out her uncle was like, you know what, she's better use as bait than she is alive. You know, I'm better off sacrificing her so I can get, like, the pettiest of revenges. I need, well, actually, I was going to say I need more books to read. No, actually, I don't. I have plenty of books to read. I just need to go and fish them out. I have them in a box in my storeroom, but unfortunately, that box is buried under other things, and I've been too lazy to fish it out. Oh yes, more Shobu. Let's fucking go. Alright, who's next? I love the showdown mechanic. It's good. Get fucking yeeted. Oh. Wasn't quick enough on the parry on him. That's okay. Let me free this peasant.
待たせてしまったな。このことは生涯忘れません。安全なところへ。
I don't know if it's the best day of your life.
お役に立つと。
I think there's probably better ones than getting kidnapped by Mongols and rescued by me, but it's still a pretty good start. Okay, I'm going this away. Yo! Oh wow, 50 supplies. Jesus, that guy was packing. Oh yes, another standoff. Another standoff. Come on, you fucking bandits. Let's go. I wonder, does it, depending on which style you have equipped, does he change how he fights in the standoff? I need to check that. Because that was a pretty good transition from like those three cuts straight into water stance. It's funny, I find I use water stance the most. I don't really like it that much, but I need it the most fighting against shields, so... Alright, let's fucking go. Trying to juke me. You're gone. That guy just wall at me. Oh, ow. Stop. That guy literally fucking just keep fucking poking me every time I try to hit him. It's like the what is it? The spam low kick strategy in Street Fighter. Oh yes, the making water stance. They call me the pissing blade. See, that's the real trick to writing any sort of fantasy novel, is you just need to like come up with archaic terms for everyday words. Like breakfast isn't breakfast, it's breaking your fast. What? Where did the fox go? Oh, it phased through the fucking tree. Ow. Pigoo. Where's my AR-15? I need it for 40-50 wild hogs. Yeah, it's like breakfast isn't breakfast, it's breaking your fast. Pissing isn't pissing, it's making water. Taking a bath isn't taking a bath, it's cleaning the dirt from the road. Waking up isn't waking up, it's greeting the sun. See, I can do this shit. I can be fucking Brandon Sanderman. Oh, honor the shrine. Covered in blood, honor the shrine. I mean, we did talk about this last time, where, like, the foxes are probably pretty happy about all the bodies that are around. So, like, Inari, the fox god, is probably like, you know what, you're stacking bodies, and that makes me happy, because I get to eat all that shit. Alright. Once. Exactly. Pay homage to the glyph. Go to the farm. The glorious farm. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of do and I kind of don't want to play Skyrim on stream. Because I know it'll literally just be me locking in trying to find Cicero. I'd try and do the Robaz punch everyone to death build and mind and be like, cool, we're locking in and going straight to Cicero. Standoff time. Let's fucking go. Come at me. Come at me. Dark Souls rolling. Oh, okay. That was the wrong button, but I kunai'd him, so that's okay. I didn't mean to just fucking execute that man with a throwing knife. Why won't it let me open the box? Okay, let me open the box. There we go. I will admit that was a build I did want to try in Pathfinder at one point, was a Shuriken build. Because here's the thing, right? Because Pathfinder, at least OG Pathfinder, I don't know about 2.0, I haven't had enough of a look at 2.0. But OG Pathfinder was built on 3.5 mechanics. And so one of the things was that throwing knives or like... Yeah, Burb, where are you leading me, Burb? Okay. So yeah, throwing knives were kind of like not particularly useful because it was basically you had to pull out a dagger and then throw a dagger, and that was 2 actions. Whereas shuriken, because they counted as ammunition, were much more usable. I mean, look, I agree to disagree, Mike. Sheogorath, in my opinion, is amusing just because I think you don't expect the interaction. It's like there are some interactions in Witcher 3 that I did genuinely find funny, like the one where if you stay up late enough drinking at Kaer Morhen, you unlock a secret quest, which is literally just you and your guys getting drunk and then like doing stupid drunk shit, and if done correctly, you wind up getting like dumped in the lake by Yennefer. Good boy, good boy, good boy. But I can understand how Cicero could get annoying in the long term. That was one of the things that annoyed me about Far Cry 5 was you had companions who you could pick up. And I thought the companion system was okay. But some of their dialogue could be really painful, particularly Herc. Herc's this recurring like pseudo joke character in Far Cry 5, in that he's a recurring character in several Far Cry games, but he only really appears properly in 5. And he's supposed to be this like redneck explosives expert. But yeah, there's he and another guy who are basically just like supposed to be kind of vaguely amusing hillbillies, but yeah, I agree that they wear on me a lot, particularly with they repeat a lot of the same joke dialogue very frequently if you're in a vehicle, because you're moving so fast, it keeps re-triggering their dialogue.
浜には猛虎がはびこっていると聞きます。雅子様の身が心配です。
猛虎の身の方が心配だ。だがそうだな。助立ちに参ろう。
I'm not sure about that farm. I agree that I appreciate Sheogorath, but at the same time, Dagoth Bow, Vanity Gear, Armor Die. Sword kits, what do we got? Warrior's Shadow, Prowling Tiger, Snow Demon's Eyes. Well, that one is pretty nice. For his Tears, Sea Dragon's Wing.
堺様、お達者でいらしたか。
助かった。
またお越しください。お譲りいただけるものは。
Range capacity upgrade. Oh yes, thank you. Give me more heavy arrow.
れほどの品はありま
Only
す
the best for me, correct. Explosive arrow, I don't need any more of that. Actually, give me just regular arrow.
さあどうぞ
I will admit I will allow Mike his opinion on Sheogorath, but I will admit the implementation of the Yabawak was actually pretty good. In that it's basically just like, cool, you can just like turn people into sweet rolls.
純真まさかお主とここで会うとはな
ご用件を伺いましょ
この地に詳しいか
う。野営のまとめ役ですので。
この地図に心当たりは
I did this. Would that mean anything to you?
食料を届ける者に渡しているもの。ルミンの野営の場所を記してあります。もしこれは血。
全てお主が束ねる野営か
I love he's like, is that blood? And we're like, ignore that. Move on.
有明では同胞が殺し合っていると聞きますが。
Thank you, Avatar.
無実の民が
Thank you for making the correct gesture.
家の女子供も殺された
Oh, nice farm. Excellent. Painting shall soon commence. I've continued painting my choo choo.
有明のかがり火
The first of my choo choo tanks, my steam tanks.
野営はありませんが、噂では賊に乗っ取られていると。
Yeah, I've heard that. Malakat's the orc god or whatever.
お声をかけてあげてください。
Yeah, be careful with that farm. Like alcohol's not bad for you per se, but it's bad for your skin. It can dry out your skin. So just be cautious with that.
かがり火台のようやもしれません
あれは足立家が有明のため建てたもの。恥すら知らぬ裏切り者め。
奴には
Also, be careful with the small ones around.
いいさ。
But yeah, I'm glad you've gotten them stripped back. Have you been having any issue with getting the gunk off? But I'm glad it's working out well for you. What's that one Mike from Conker's Bad Fur Day? The Great and Mighty Pooh. He's the Daedra the Daedric version of that. Yeah. Have you had anything weird happen with your stripping? Yeah, that's a weird question out of context. Have you ever had anything weird happen with your stripping farm? Because I showed you that weird space marine I had, yeah, where for some reason the wrists around the bolt gun like sheared off after I stripped it, and I have no idea why.
うまいものです万兵がおります
腰抜けは隠れておるか。
Because most other models I've stripped, like I've had some fall apart, like come off bases and stuff, but it's never really been I've never really had any problems like that with brittleness or anything. So I have no idea what happened with that particular one. Because I've heard rumors about things, right? Because I picked up a while ago some Tamiya panel liner.
お前を殺して俺の名を広めてやる。
Because I wanted to use that. Hang on a second, I have to banish someone to the Shadow Realm after I'm finished killing these dudes. Swing. Fuck off. Oh, damn it. Survive. Survive. Hang on. What's this? Whee! I finally got to do it. Whoop. Where did he go? I'm right here. I'm Batman. Hey, Draylon, welcome in. How you doing? I just gotta murk some dudes. Whoop. So yeah, when I picked up some Tamiya stuff, I wanted to use it A for some gunpla, but also from just for panel lining some of my like Warhammer minis, because I've heard that life is much easier with that because of the better viscosity. But then I was reading up on it on some forums that apparently if you use it on like gunpla, if you haven't painted them, which I don't paint my gunpla, apparently it causes the joints to shatter. And apparently it's this whole thing of like, that has a strong solvent in it. If you, from where you like clip stuff off, it gets into the micro cracks and then eats away at the plastic from the inside or something. So I was a bit like, huh? Nani? I've been trying to look into the actual truth of it, because some people have been like showing photos of like, yeah, it exploded, and I'm like, okay, but chemically, how does that make sense? All right, give me a hot second. I must. There is someone who's been caught by Automod attempting perfidy, so I must banish them to the Shadow Realm. I appreciate Twitch having finally caught up to the modern age and been like, hey, let's actually ban the keyword of cheap viewers on whatever. Oof. Draylon, drink water. Hydrate. 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 Also, this is going to be awkward because in my chat, both Draylon and Farm are listed as pink. This is going to be real annoying trying to figure out who's who, because I often use colors to discern who I'm actually talking to in chat. Yeah, I get that. Scrubbing stuff can be a bit of pain. Some of that you can kind of just ignore a little bit, but again, that's what the toothbrush is for, or like a toothpick or something. But there is some stuff where you can kind of just ignore it if it's in the deep corners, because you're like, you'll never see that anyway. Exactly, Avatar. Cheap views on these nuts. Fucking Masako. We needed him alive for information. Fuck's sake, Masako. I like you, girl, but you keep being like, we need information, kills this man who has information. But yes, Draylon, you should hydrate. Everyone bully Draylon into hydrating this minute. I can't fix the 3 hours of sleep, but get that H2O in you. Did I talk to Sugendies? Sugendies nuts? See, you gotta get up pretty early to get me like that, Draylon. And I recognize you're up early. But up here it's not early, because down there, and out there, and I'll be in there, but they're out there, and I'm more worried about what's in that graveyard out there. Hydrate with Advanced GG. Hydrate with Turtle Piss. My new flavor. Made by me, in my garage, don't ask with what. Just be careful, Masako. I put this hat on because I feel like it would make me look like a badass, but it makes me feel like an idiot. Like I'm just standing there like a mook with this kind of like I've got like the fire hat on. Oof. Yeah, I don't envy you there, Draylon. Yep. I don't like look, I go to work most days, but I'm still not happy being awake before 10:30. Like, I'm in the office, but I'm not happy about it. Hero of Tsushima. Ooh, new ghost weapon. Sticky bomb. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I talked about this yesterday, Avatar, but like my my preferred thing, if I ever got to name like a flavor of gamer subs or something, would be to make it completely completely deceptive. Call it like Blueberry Blast and make it like watermelon flavored or something. 3 piercing strikes, rapid strikes, automatically parry any spear during wind stance. Oh fuck yes. Thank you. Master Samurai. Ooh, silk. Okay, where can we go now? We want to go see Sensei. I don't know if I want to see Sensei. What's down here? Unfinished business. Taka from Azamo Bay. Mongols. Lady Moscow's up there in the middle of nowhere. Actually, let's go. Zoom. Zoom. Oh. Oh, there's a whole bunch of shit up here that I haven't even found. Okay. Yeah, let's cool. Let's go to Azamo Bay. That's a fair while. Exactly. Surfing turtle berries. Turtle dingleberries. I don't know. Oh, okay, that's the survivor camp. I was like, is this a camp full of Mongols? Am I gonna have to kill all these guys? I don't know, chat. I think I'm gonna have to kill this guy. But yeah, again, I also said yes. Like I think my big problem, and I wouldn't say big problem, my issue with things like gamer subs and things like that is that I don't drink them in the first place, so it does make it a bit hard for me to, like, if I did get a chance to shill stuff like that. Hey guys, buy this thing that I don't actually use. I would much prefer if I ever did get sponsorships or things like that, stuff where it's like, hey, let me endorse the thing I actually like. Games Workshop, give me a sponsorship so I can shill Warhammer. I already did it for you for money for like 2 years. Let me do it for free. Oop, that's the wrong button. Let me just. Yeah, okay, I'm nowhere fucking near where I need to be. Hans, come here. There we go. Yeah, again, it'd never happen. GW don't do sponsorships. They do, like an influencer program thing where they do give some people stuff early. So they'll give them like a week, 2 weeks before something releases, so they can be like, hey guys, I've got the new box of, you know, the new kill team box, and we're gonna look at the 2 new kill teams in here. Which is kind of nice. I mean, like, I get it. It's the classic YouTube problem of, like, back in the day, everyone used to do game reviews, and then it became companies gave out review codes to bigger reviewers, and it meant that all the smaller reviewers kind of got pushed out because they couldn't get access to review codes. I mean, I don't think it's that big of an issue with Warhammer anyway, because it's kind of like, you know, it takes so long to paint minis that even if you have to wait a week to buy an actual version, there are still a lot of people who can buy it at retail and be like, cool, I'm going to review this and paint it and still have a chance to compete, I guess. And it doesn't help that YouTube's just gone to shit anyway. The YouTube algorithm continues to baffle me because mine lately has just gone to absolute shit. It does this every few weeks where, like, it'll be recommending me stuff that's real good and I'll be like, great, excellent. You know, this is entirely based on the things that I like to watch. And then all of a sudden it'll just be like, hey, you want to, like, you know, watch this thing about, you know, some very niche US politics or whatever. Did you just hit my horse? You fucker. Ow. Get stabbed. Yes, bandits. Bandits to my rescue. Get fucking yeeted. Yeah, and again, like, but again, that's the same thing, Graylin, with like the Let's Players and reviewers. It's the same thing. And I can get it sometimes. Like, some of it is that classic thing of it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I get that like, sometimes it's a case of, particularly some of the smaller game studios, where it's like someone reviews one of their games, builds a positive relationship with them, and so they do get stuff earlier because they have built that relationship, and I don't really mind that. But yeah, some of the big studios and stuff like that, it can get a bit shady. Particularly when you start getting stuff with the whole, like, if you get access to something early, does that mean I'm obligated to give you a good review? But again, that's true with everything. Ethics be a questionable place when it comes to reviewing anything. I mean, hell, Australia literally had that in our media industry in the late 90s with the catch for comment thing. Ring. Nice. See, I get some HoloLive stuff for my YouTube recommended, but then it will just inexplicably be like, cool, like, you want clips from this VTuber you've never heard of before, and some of that's fine. I'll be like, great, new VTuber. I've now learned of someone. But then other times it'll be like, oh hey, here's this internet personality that you like explicitly don't like. I won't say who, but like here's this, you know, like well-known person in particular internet community that you like generally don't like. Like, you know, actually, like, fuck it. Let's just give a hypothetical. Hey Ando, here's a bunch of like Andrew Tate videos. Or like people talking about why Andrew Tate is great. Like, you want this, and I'm like, why? Like, what do you what information are you gleaning from my my YouTube watch stuff that would make you want to see this, or make you think that I want to see this? Like, some of it I do get. Like, sometimes I get US conservative politics in my recommended. And I'm pretty sure I know why I get that, and it's because of the fact that I watch a lot of military history stuff and, like, firearms stuff. And so I think they kind of go like, hey, people who watch that stuff also, like, vote Republican or whatever. So Ando should watch this channel all about why Trump's the best or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, no. And again, like, sometimes I'll watch stuff on, like, economics or whatever, and so it'll be like, cool, you want to listen to some neoliberal talking about like why deregulation is good for the stock market, and I'll be like, no. But then there's some shit I get that's just absolutely fucking incongruous, and I'm like, why am I getting this? Why am I suddenly getting like 7-year-old like prank video or some nonsense? In summary, YouTube, fix your shit. Although I am glad that they've stopped. So there was a period a while back where YouTube was putting a lot of news videos up like automatically in your recommended, and I'm glad they've stopped doing that, because literally every news video I got recommended was Sky News, and Sky News in Australia is hot garbage. Like, it's sometimes funny to watch because they're absolutely fucking cooked, but it's hot trash as far as news goes. Alright, samurai time. Come here, big swordman. Swing. 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 Oh yeah. Don't I have this thing that... Hang on. Let me check things. Do I not have the thing that automatically makes me parry? Pretty sure I have the thing that automatically makes you parry. Oh, during any wind stance attack. Okay. That explains it. Hang on, let me heal. Holy fuck, these rapid fire archers. I always forget that they're a thing. Fuck you, Legolas. Fuck you, Legolas. Oh, that was wrong. The wrong button. Yeah, there we go. Auto parry. Fuck you. Wind stance, motherfucker. Ponce. We need to go south. Oh, my back is hurting. I should get that looked at. I mean, that's good, Draylon. At least that kind of resolved the issue for you. For me, for a while, it was like the first like 1 or 2 videos would be like from news sites, like very much Australian news sites. But again, it would mostly be Sky News, which annoyed the shit out of me. Because again, as far as news goes, they're an absolute shithole. They're like the Fox News equivalent of Australia. You know, the last thing I want to see when I'm watching brain rot on YouTube is actual brain rot Peter Credlin. You know, the only hags I want on my YouTube recommended is my VTubers. Don't be giving me them real life hags. I will say the great thing about YouTube that, well, actually, good thing and bad thing. Great thing about YouTube, it's a fantastic repository for hobby stuff. There are so many like videos that are like, hey, here's this product that like you're interested in, or like I'll so many times I'll be like, is this worth getting? And I'll Google it, and they'll be like, yeah, here's how to use, you know, Vallejo chipping medium. Particularly because a lot of the products will be like, we recommend using with an airbrush, and then I'll be like, can I use it without an airbrush? And inevitably there'll be a YouTube video of like, yes, you can use it without an airbrush, and I'm going to show you how. And I'm like, fantastic. It's the same with anything tech related. Like if you've got a computer problem, I guarantee you there will be an Indian guy who has a solution for you. There will be Indian tech YouTuber who can be like, here's how you solve this error by going into PowerShell and entering in this simple command line. And I'm like, hell yes, I'm on board for this. But the one that frustrates me nowadays is the fact that YouTube, like, when you search for something, often they'll give you like 8 videos, and then they'll be like, cool, here's some completely unrelated bullshit. Which made me a little bit mad, because I found a review for like a spray gun a while ago, and I was interested in it, and now I haven't been able to find it again since.
村の中の者が危うくなるぞ。
猛虎は年寄りを痛めつけてるんです。ある捕虜が逃げた罰として。
痛めつけて何になる。で、どこに囚われた。
一人は陣。
Where are they being held? Where are they?
いかにして入る。門は開かぬぞ。
正門の近くに隙間が。子供が通れる大きさです。
俺が忍び込もう。肩が。
Is that good? Does that adjust my chair? I think so. I don't know. Ugh, posture check. That's the worst thing about being a biped, is that gravity does not like your spine. It's one of the reasons why a lot of like Australopithecus and stuff like that, like the skeletons they found of those, they're like, oh yeah, they had horrible, horrible back problems. Ah, yeah, that sucks, Draylon. It's always rough when like there's something you're like, hey, I'm interested in getting this, and then like the one version you want sold out or like hard to get. I remember I had that with my PC. So I have a very particular Corsair PC case that I got when I built this rig. And back when I was building, so they had 3 colors they sold in. They sold it in white, black, and green. And I wanted the green one. And I could not get the green one in Australia. I would find the green one in America. So I ordered it from America, which was interesting because it was actually cheaper to buy it in America than it was to buy it in Australia because of, you know, the Australian tax. For some reason, shit here is just more expensive because they're like, fuck you, we're going to charge you more for it. Yeah, I was like, cool, I'll order it from America. But then with shipping, it wound up being the exact same cost anyway. And strangely enough, cost the same, but arrived faster than most of the other parts I'd ordered from Australia. But yeah, I know that feeling. The one that also always annoys me is, particularly in Australia, when it's like, oh cool, here's this thing you want to get. Turns out they don't ship to you. Turns out that you are verboten because of some form of, I don't know, trade restriction or something. I don't know. That one I find really weird because sometimes like I'll be looking at getting something that's limited edition. Oh, new desk. Wonderful. Swing. Justice. Sorry, what? I missed like half of that drill. I'm gonna have to reread that. Like, what do you mean kangaroos raided the warehouse? Nice. Hang on. Ugh, I fumbled my goggles whilst trying to block the sneeze. Exactly, the climatic Lord of the Rings battle. But no, it's like often with a lot of limited edition shit. Particularly if I'm ordering stuff from Asia, it'll be really weird where they'll be like, yeah, we'll ship this to like Hong Kong, you know, Thailand, like we'll ship it to like the entirety of Southeast Asia, like they'll even ship it to Indonesia. But Australia, no, forbidden. Okay, where did the peasant go? It's not what I want. I want... yeah, longbow. Get fucking absolutely deleted. Short bow. For a short king. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Draylon. But also, it's weird. International shipping is often faster than actually internal shipping within Australia because I honestly don't know why. But like, again, I've had times where I've ordered stuff from like the US or the UK that's gotten to me faster than things I've ordered from literally Melbourne. Now, sometimes it comes from other things. Like, I've had issues with just the seller was unreliable. Well, they weren't unreliable, but they were like, yeah, cool, you've ordered from me. I won't actually post this for like a week. That wasn't supposed to ricochet like that. Wait. Hang on. Tang twang. Tang twang, bitch. Why are you blowing the horn? They don't know where I am. Excellent. Oh, okay, they know where I am now. Oh. Oh. Sprinting, 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 sprinting. Rescue the dudes. Rescue the dudes. Damn it. Fuck's sake. Yeah, again, I'm made to order. Made to order isn't one of those things that I fuss about. But sometimes it's just like, again, people being lazy. Which I can't hold too much of a grudge about because, like, I'm relatively lazy. But at the same time, when your business is shipping things, it's kind of like, alright, maybe you should be a little bit prompt about it. Okay, let's... Fuck's sake. Swing. The other one that also gets kind of weird is eBay, because I ordered something on eBay, and it was from a pretty reputable seller, and he wasn't the problem, but it was a pre-order item from Japan, right? And it was a thing where I had to order it, like the pre-order opened in September, but the thing wasn't gonna arrive until, so this was last year, 2023, so I ordered in September and it wasn't gonna arrive till like March of 2024. And he was like, yeah, hey Ando, there's a problem with that. eBay has a thing, and it's with good intention, but they have a thing where they like don't let you in the maximum time between something being ordered and it having to be delivered is 3 months, because it's to stop people from scamming. But he's kind of like, yeah, this is going to take longer, so we had to kind of come up with a funky arrangement where he's like, hey, I'm going to cancel this listing, but before I put it back up, he's like, I'm going to make the pre-order, I'm going to put the listing up again in like 5 months or whatever, and he's like, if you want it, you'll have first dibs on it, just promise me you'll, like, when I put the listing up, you'll get to it promptly, otherwise he's like, I can't promise anything. And we did that, and it worked. And we didn't break any rules. Ah, thank you for the alert, Kichan. Ah, the Takodachi plush, the Ino ones. Go stab this man. Ow. Thank you, Draylon, for that flashbang. I needed that. The one plush that doesn't exist that I kind of want to exist, I mean, I'm not really a plush guy, I don't really have the space for them, because, you know, all the space I have is filled up with Warhammer. But the one plush I would love to see would be a giant, like, you know how they did the big Spheal plush? I want a plush that size, but for Clodsire and Quagsire, because you all know my feelings about acquiring the Sire. It is mankind's ultimate goal to acquire the Sire. I'm pretty sure they already did a life-size Snorlax, though. I'm pretty sure that's been done. There we go, Tang Twang. In the bushes too, that'll be handy. But yeah, life-size Quagsire or Clodsire. Just give me them big one brain cell boys. Yeah, let's go Firecracker. Let me just... Cease, Yamate Kudasai. Get fucking yoked. You'll be freed. Just hang on a hot second.
逃がしてやる
Diagon Palkia, maybe. I don't know. Again, for me, well, actually, life-size Kangaskhan, where you can just fit in the pouch. No, again, for me, it's Clodsire and Quagsire. It's my boys.
ここに隠れておれ
And also the Spheal. Like, I would appreciate the giant Spheal, and to this day, one of the most wholesome pictures I've ever seen is Shy Lily when she obtained her full-size Spheal, and it's bigger than she is. Actually, there was one thing I did see was a post where someone was like, I love seeing stuff from Pokemon Go as if it was like real world examples of this Pokemon, and someone was because of the whole AR thing, someone had evolved, I can't remember what Pokemon it is, that's the one that evolves into the giant centipede. But they called theirs Gummy, and they were like, oh no, Gummy evolved and now he's the size of the whole room. And I like that because I was like, yeah, that's what it actually would be like if people did actually have Pokemon. Life-size Wailord, yeah, oof. Is that a door? No, it's not a door. Ting twang. I just rocked up on that dude and literally no one noticed. None of these guys are noticing. You're terrible at guard duty. Is Charizard like 5'4"? I don't know.
動くな
I can't remember. There probably are Pokemon that are bigger than I expect and ones that are smaller than I expect. If memory serves, isn't Lapras very size inconsistent in the anime in terms of how big it is?
わしも殺されるかと思いました
タカは村から逃げた安心しろしばらく身を隠
Were
す
you the dude who was bitching and being like, your current blacksmith is unreliable, he's sabotaging you. Get rid of him and feed my family instead. Yeah, again, I don't know if it's tiny so much as I think it was just in the anime they had to vary Lapras's size in order that they could do that thing of fitting the whole party on their back. Because they had to be like, oh shit, we've got like 7 people, we need to actually fit that many onto Lapras. Which Pokemon? No, yeah, I think it was. I remember Lapras. I always used to be confused by Lapras because I was always like, I was always like, shouldn't like, because I was always confused that like Dratini evolved into Dragonair, which evolved into what's the other one? Big dragon guy. Yeah, I was always confused by that. And so I was like, shouldn't, because they looked similar. I was like, shouldn't Dratini evolve into Lapras or something because they looked similar? Dragonite, that's it. Dragonite's the big one. Eh? Come into the bushes. Come into the bushes, Tang Twang. Where's the archer? He's up there. Okay, cool. I mean, technically every night's Dragon Night. If you're a dragon. Pichu, I have no idea what Riolu is. Again, I haven't kept up with Pokemon. I don't know of these new ones. Picking the lock, picking the lock. Ooh, what have you got for me? Oh, let me just hide in this cage. Pre-evolved form of Lucario. Again, I don't know enough about Lucario to know what Riolu is. I didn't know Lucario had a pre-evolved form. I thought Lucario was like Mewtwo. I thought it was like it didn't evolve.
けるな千春をあっちしやれ
Because maybe I'm wrong, but I thought Lucario was a pseudo legendary. He might be. Funnily enough, my Pokemon team often included a lot of pseudo legendaries, not through the fact that I wanted pseudo legendaries, but the fact that I was like, yeah, this Pokemon's really cool, I want it.
大半もお許しくださる。拒めば罰を下す。
Am I learning more Mongolian as the game goes on? Is that what's happening? Grenade!
내가 못 써. 내가 못 써.
Swing! Nice.
ありがとうございます
Yeah, I'll agree with you there, Mike. Dragonite is not a great evolution for Elegant Dragon Snake.
逃がしてやる
And it always kind of annoyed me that he was like the first dragon Pokemon, because let's face it, compared to Charizard, he's not exactly imposing.
もうこの掟を受け入れねば村の者を皆殺しにすると脅され諦めるところでした
Then again, to be fair, you also get melodic from fucking what's the fucking rock cod? I'm trying to remember its name. I'm blanking on its name. My brain's saying Corphish, but I know it's not Corphish because I know Corphish is the fucking lobster. Feebas, that's it, Feebas. Yeah, exactly. It's the super ugly one that you have to make feel beautiful in order to you have to make them feel beautiful in order to get them to evolve. Which I feel is kind of wholesome. And it's still not the worst Pokemon of all. Luddisk or whatever, the one that is shaped like a bean. I remember I once had someone explain to me what Pokemon what animal that Pokemon is supposed to be, and I still can't remember. Dragonite and Gyarados? No. No, disagree.
新しい網を作れ。魚を取れば殺しはしない。
Tang Twang. You. Ow. Alright, let me just revive real quick. Ow. Mike, are you having an unhealthy fixation with the snake dragon? Wing. Yeah, again, I don't know what I would swap out as the alternative, at least of existing Pokemon, to be the Tropical Kissing Fish? Okay, I'll double check it. Exactly, I'm repressing the memory, so it's okay. I'm being an adult. Yeah, again, I'm not sure what I would swap for it, because again, I know the whole Caterpie, Venonat, Venomoth, Butterfree thing. That one kind of makes sense to me. Yeah, Critical Strike. There we go. The Apple family. I don't know. Again, I haven't played any of the modern ones, Mike, so I don't know about the Apple ones. All right, enjoy your sleep, Draylon. Thanks for dropping by. It's always good to have the homies around. Like Draylon's one of our OGs. He's one of the like first people to follow the channel back in the day. So once again, thanks for coming to hang out. Whoop. Whoop. I didn't parry that quite quick enough. There we go. Nice. Is this guy gonna try and kill my peasant? I dare you. Oh, villain. I know Villainish. Villainish is the ice cream one. Whoop. Alright, that was kind of a cool spinny attack. Ow. Get yeeted. Fuck it. Have it. Oh, that was... Okay, that kind of worked. End suffering. That's what I need sometimes. I need someone to just come and stab me in the back and end my suffering. Yeah, I think maybe teens, maybe early teens, but yeah, Draylen's an OG. Draylen's been around for a while, since the Dishonored days. So like one's an apple pie, one's a worm and an apple. Okay, some other bullshit. All right. Yeah, I don't remember, Dre. I know you showed up with a couple of people. I don't fully remember how or why. Yeah, again, Mike, it depends. If it's the worm, maybe it's the worm. I don't know. The big one for me, for Pokemon is just I feel like some of them just don't quite have the charm of the older ones. Like the design just it doesn't catch me. I did see some fan-made designs that I really liked a while ago. I think it was back when, like 1 or 2 generations ago, when the setting was supposed to be like England or whatever. Because someone did a bunch of designs. Oh, yeah, no, I know what you're talking about, Dre. I know what you're talking about. Apparently that's a problem. Apparently that's a problem with the current mobile update of Twitch, where like it'll just randomly dip to another stream for whatever fucking reason. No, this wasn't Palworld, Mike. This was like fan-made designs based on that theme, because they were like, yeah, the next place is supposed to be like England, yeah. They came up with 3 British police-themed evolutions that I really liked, which was it was like a police helmet, like, you know, the British Bobby helmet. It was like that, but it got bigger as it went along. And the 3 names were Oi Oi, What's All, and Disten, because it meant that when you said the full evolutionary chain as one, it became Oi Oi, What's All, Disten. Which I was like, I got a laugh out of that and was like, okay, yeah, I like that design, and also, like, I find the names amusing. It's a good meme. Exactly, British themed. Everything has a knife. We got license for that knife. But yeah, apparently I haven't encountered it, but apparently that's a problem with the current update of the Twitch mobile app. It'll just randomly throw you into other people's streams. I suspect it's a bug based on what they've done recently, where they've made it so that as soon as you open the Twitch app, it'll have someone stream up. Like, it'll have, like, either someone you follow stream, or the stream of someone who's like on the front page, and it, like, as you scroll through, it automatically plays them. I think it's the app probably misrecognizing that and being like, yeah, we'll play every fucking streamer. Also, Palworld, what a surprise that game kind of like was a one-hit wonder. It's still going, I think, but I've heard fuck all about it. It's kind of a shame that we are so fickle with a lot of these things. It's kind of the same with Lethal Company. Like, Lethal Company is a pretty good game in that it's fun, but a lot of what's keeping it alive is the mod scene. Like, a lot of it is like people modding it as opposed to the devs adding stuff. Like, the devs have added stuff, but you know, the updates have not been what's been keeping it going. And I've said this before, I do have some gripes with the design of that game. I dislike some of the things that kill you. Like, mimics are kind of annoying because of the fact that inevitably because they always head to the ship, it inevitably creates kind of a problem with that. Dogs are kind of annoying sometimes, and it also does annoy me that, like, again, giants, no real way to deal with giants aside from, like, flashbanging them. But, like, again, because they tend to, like, wind up camping your ship, there's nothing you can really do to de-aggro them or to, like, lead them away. Okay, again, I haven't really paid much attention to Pal World, because like, a lot of people were like, Pal World is, like, the Pokemon game I've always wanted, and for me, I was like, Pal World's not really the Pokemon game I've always wanted. It doesn't really have many things I would particularly consider desirable in a Pokemon game. So spawn mimics is what I'm saying, no. And I'm pretty sure we turned that one off because it causes problems sometimes. Oh yeah, no, I 100% agree, Mike. What if anything is edgy, again, is often only appealing when you're a kid. Sometimes it is done well. The one I will always praise for doing edgy well, or I guess you could say at least taking a dark tone well, was the Flintstones comic. The Flintstones comic actually did a very good take on what if we took this Hanna-Barbera comic and instead made, like, Fred and Barney, like, so in the original Flintstones TV show, Fred and Barney used to go to this, like, cave person version of the Shriners. Like, they wore these, like, weird hats and, like, you know, hung out with the guys. And they changed that for the comic to make it, like, a veterans association, and they made them, like, war veterans, and it was, like, they had a war with the Neanderthals or whatever, and I was like, okay, that's an interesting take. Like, yeah, it's darker, but it's kind of interesting and done well. Like, you know, it's handled with nuance and tact and human emotion, as opposed to what if Pokemon but with guns? What if X but with guns? America, what if Canada but with guns? Man, I fucking love Dao. Dao are nice swords. Like, I like katanas, but I also like Dao. Oh, fuck. Ow. The shield bash. I don't like that. I also do like that parry where they twist. So they, wow, I killed that guy really fucking fast. Maybe because I parried him a lot. But I really love that attack they do where they, like, block the sword on the edge and then twist into the bind. I think that's really cool. I don't know if it's realistic, but it's really fucking cool. Raise the banner. Raise your flag. Koe no gaki ni, koe no gaki ni. I can't remember the rest of the words. I will admit, best part of Iron Blooded Orphans, the opening song. Man, I'm not a huge Man with a Mission fan, but they've done some songs, like they are this generation's TM Revolution. They've done some absolute banger themes for the anime. Fuck, I miss TM Revolution. They broke up a couple of years ago, I'm pretty sure. And I was like, oh. After, like, what, 2 decades of doing anime themes? Absolute fucking bangers. Just absolute staples of the anime industry. Nice. Ooh, like a legend storyteller. I was gonna be like, is that a guy telling a story? Because I like the dudes who tell stories. I like stories. Bird. Actually, let me talk to this man. Have you seen the birds? Yes, I've seen the birds. The golden ones. Lisa needs braces. Dental plan. Man, I miss old Simpsons. I don't wanna just riff on someone else's take, but I'm pretty sure like Super Eye Patch Wolf had it right. Because he did an analysis of like old Simpsons episodes versus new Simpsons episodes. And like he did give some credit for some of the new ones. He was like, some of the new ones are actually okay. But he's kind of, I like it when someone is able to put something into words that I had suspected for some time but hadn't quite been able to articulate. And his kind of take on it was essentially, old Simpsons was good because the writing was good because they gave it enough time to breathe. Like they gave it enough time for a joke to develop, whereas now they just kind of do like 500 jokes a minute. Like, oh, that one didn't land, cool, here's another joke, here's another joke, here's another joke. Because some of the classic jokes are absolutely phenomenal. And I really appreciate watching it again now that I'm older and know a lot more about the context. Like one of my favorites is the episode where George Bush Sr. moves in across the street. And a joke I really didn't understand at the time, but I get now, it's the whole, I'll ruin you like a Japanese banquet. Because I did not know that in like 1992, George Bush like threw up on the Japanese ambassador at a traditional Japanese banquet. Yeah, again, I've seen some of the newer ones, and apparently it is improving, which is good. Yeah, again, it's lacking on the family aspect, and there are certain things, and part of this is me, but like for me, if I was like say I traveled back in time, right? Say Ando was sent back in time to 1992, and they appointed this weird turtle as the arbiter of like the rules of the Simpsons, right? I'll just pause this guy's talking so I can rant for a second. Say they appointed me as the arbiter of the rules of the Simpsons, there would be certain rules that I would have, right? And one of them is that at the end of the day, like, they are a family, and that, like, because again, they did this one back in the day with the whole, was it Mindy or whatever, where like Homer was like, oh, I'm gonna cheat on my wife, sort of thing, and then he doesn't because he loves his wife, right? And for me, that was always one of the sacrosanct points of the Simpsons, is that at the end of the day, Marge loves Homer, right? Like, he's a big doofus, he's a big idiot, but there's one thing he knows for sure, and that's he loves his wife and he doesn't deserve her. But I think it was in like season 20 or something like that, they finally did actually have Homer cheat on Marge, and I was just like, you fucking idiots, right? Like, that's one of the things, that's one of the, like, that's the jumping the shark point. Like, that's the thing you do not do to this franchise, because if you do that, then you've essentially lost the last vestige of like decency in the character, right? Like, because Homer, like, this is a problem people have labeled before, is the concept of arsehole Homer. The idea that like in the earlier seasons, he's very much a boorish and often selfish character who ultimately means well, whereas as things have gone along, he's become increasingly like, I'm just selfish and do things for the meme. Exactly, like, yeah, again, at his worst in the earlier seasons, Homer either meant well or didn't realize the consequences of his actions, and like when made aware of the consequences of his actions, like kind of changed his opinion. This guy's gonna lead me to a fucking ambush, I know it. Your name's Hyoe?
何か買ってもらいたいのか？
いえ、別荘もありません。ここでいいでしょう。誰にも聞かれません。
Okay, maybe not.
何をか申してみよう。
村の春男がおかしなことをしているようで、日が沈むと村を出て、そのまま夜明けまで戻って。
But again, it's the same with all of them, Mike, really. Like, again, that was always the thing of The Simpsons, is that they ultimately all meant well, despite being their own variations of flawed. Like, Homer is ignorant and boorish, Bart is ill-disciplined and, again, selfish. Lisa is neurotic and arrogant. Marge is controlling and
よく話してくれた。
とんでもございません。
like I guess you say like what's the word I'm trying to articulate, you know that line from the episode about the burlesque house, the whole what I'm trying to say is that this is not to my taste and therefore no one else should be allowed to like it. Controlling and prudish, I think the only character in the family who doesn't have flaws is probably Maggie, and that's because she can't speak. With John Waters, yes, I like that one. Yeah, exactly. And not only that, because that one is that one's a bunch of things. So it's Homer realizing he loves Bart more than any concerns he has about his sexuality, but it's also Homer realizing that his hang-ups about it were unfounded. Like it's a whole swathe of character growth there. Whereas again now it's just, oh yeah, whatever the plot needs. And to be fair, like you can do that for a show. You can do the whole like a character's knowledge is whatever they need for the plot. And like you can do that in a comedy. Like Rick and Morty kind of does that. But if the foundation you've set is actually like, you know, a defined and like functional group of characters, then yeah, it doesn't really work. Exactly, the gay steel mill. I still laugh at the gay steel mill bit. I can't speak for American steel mills. Let's just say that handling vats of molten steel in skin tight speedos is not considered appropriate PPE at work. Oh, Maddie, why is my raid alert not going off? Give me a second. Oh no, there it goes. It kicked off. Maddie, please. I currently have Mongols trying to poke me. I don't need two people trying to poke me right now. Ow. Hello, welcome in. Let me kill this man. Hello everyone. I will do the raid thing in just a second once I'm no longer being stabbed. Deal. Cease. Yes, welcome in. I'm being raided. Maddie the magical Mongol. Excellent. I've stabbed them all. Hello. Let me do the shout out. Let me do the thing. It is time to be poked by the Maddie again. What were you doing, Maddie? We still Ace Attorneying Dual Destinies. Dual Destinies in dual hi-fi definition with all of Maddie's wonderful voices. Welcome in, Raiders. If you don't know who I am by now, clearly you haven't been joining enough Maddie raids. My name is Takame Ando. You can call me Ando for short. I am a turtle, occasional samurai, mediocre at both of them. We're playing Ghost of Tsushima. It's a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm rambling about things. I was talking about why old Simpsons is better than new Simpsons because I'm a fucking boomer. Man, I miss 6 o'clock Simpsons. Anyway, if you all need to eat, sleep, drink, conquer the known world as Destiny decries, go ahead. If not, strap in, get comfy. You'll listen to me ramble about a lot of different things. Still 2 cases left, Maddie. Holy hell. Holy Jesus. Exactly, Mike. We need Maddie the magical Mongol. Give her an extra large helmet instead of the extra large hat. Yeah, exactly. Maddie, still biggest hat I know. Case 3 was a fucking monster. Again, I'm which one is Dual Destinies? Is Dual Destinies the one where they go to that weird country, or is that Apollo Justice? Because I know there's one where they go to the weird country that what's her face's mum was hanging out in. The one where they speak the weird language, the weird Simlish. Spirit of Justice. Okay. Yes, no, correct, Mike. Objectively correct. Yes, welcome in, Raiders. Maddie, I'm going to take a brief moment to reprimand you, Maddie, lovingly and gently. You need to find other people to raid. Not. This is not a problem. I don't dislike you raiding me. But seriously, you've got to stop exposing your chat to me. Give them something decent for once. But that aside, I'm glad you're having fun with introduce the yellow one. What? The yellow one? Elaborate further, Maddie. What is the yellow one? I am confused. Fair point, Sachi. Sin isn't live. Well, here's what I can tell you to do. Go and bully Liz. Go into Sin's Discord and bully Liz to get him to stream more, and then you can raid Liz. Athena! That's just reminding me of whatchamacallit? God of War. Athena and skeletons. Which was that, so story time. And something Super Eye Patch Wolf video, I actually referenced that earlier, Sachi. I literally was like, I hate to just rip off someone's opinion, but Super Eye Patch Wolf was right. He and again, it's one of those things where I do appreciate this sometimes, and this is what I said earlier, I appreciate when there's something I've had on my mind for a while where I've been like, this is what I think, but I can't quite put it into words, and then someone puts it into words, and I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I meant, I just couldn't articulate it. So I do appreciate that sort of stuff when I find content where I'm like, yes, thank you, finally, someone who can actually articulate this and make it make sense. But where was I going with this? Yes, so story time, riffing off Athena and God of War. Back in the day, Ando and his friends used to watch wrestling. Yes, by all means, Maddie, recoup, massage that voice. We need it ready for Friday when we go and play Monster Road Trip. I'm actually really, well, I wouldn't say worried. I'm intrigued by Monster Road Trip because all of the characters from the previous games can show up again, but they're not core characters. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a bunch of new characters we're going to have to divvy up voices for. Yeah. I think you got a point there, Mike. I will elaborate on that a little bit further. Well, again, Monster Road Trip isn't a dating sim at its core. It can be a dating sim. All of the hitchhikers you can date. But it's not the core objective. So we'll see how it goes. I may very well betray the party just in the attempt to smooch my gal. Because again, Vera is a hitchhiker. I can get my snake wife. Where I failed previously, exactly. We may perish, but where I failed previously, I will get my time with those lizard lips. Exactly, Sachi. It may not be a dating sim, but there are still the good things in life, like framing a child for a federal crime. But yeah, story time. So, and I'll try and keep this short because I know Ando's stories are often winding and stupid and not very good. So, back in the day, when I was at uni, a bunch of my friends got into wrestling, and we would watch wrestling. We'd watch the pay-per-views, and we'd do what's called tipping, which Sachi's probably familiar with. So, tipping in Australian sports betting is like, you pick what teams you think are going to win this week, and whoever gets the most right, you win for that week. So, we would always do tipping for, like, we'd know what the match card was for the wrestling, and we would tip it and be like, I think John Cena is going to beat Seth Rollins or whatever. And whoever got the most, we had a belt. We had one of those kids, like, replica belts, and we'd give the person the belt for that month, that pay-per-view. Exactly. Some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. By God, he's broken in half. That man is he has a family. Yeah, so anytime, and we memed a lot with it, but anytime Rusev showed up, because his intro music was this like dun 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 dun. It sounded very close to the God of War music, so anytime he showed up, we'd just be like, Athena, skeletons. Anyway, that's how that tied into the God of War thing earlier. Yeah, thank you for letting me have this tangent. Yes, regarding the Apu thing, Mike, I think they could have said something sincere, and again, yeah, they just bitched out and wrote him off the show. I also think, and also bearing in mind here that I am not Indian or subcontinental, but I think a lot of the criticism of Apu was somewhat unearnest. Like, yes, I think there's some fair criticism of, oh, hey, this guy doesn't actually have a genuine Indian name. It's just a nonsense word. Like, okay, that can be kind of fair. But the idea that he's a stereotype in a show full of stereotypes, I feel is a bit disingenuous. And I feel like if you actually look at his character as a whole, he's actually a pretty well-rounded character. And arguably an immigrant success story in that, like, he runs his own business. Before he married his wife, he was considered to be one of the most eligible bachelors in all of Springfield. Like, the man owns a sports car. Like, clearly he's doing well for himself. And I think a lot of the stereotypes were less to do with necessarily Indian people so much as it was working at a service job. Again, I don't know enough of the names of the commentators in the WWE. All I ever remember is anytime they had what's his face on. Why am I blanking on his name? I'm blanking on his name. I've lost his name. Yeah, exactly, Avatar. I agree with you there. And also, I've seen some arguments, and I don't know how genuine these are, but I've seen some arguments that the guy who was leading a lot of that criticism was really just doing it as kind of like a, hey, I'll get my name in the news sort of thing. Yeah, exactly. It started a genuine conversation, but it wasn't started from a good place. Yeah, exactly. I also think it is a thorny conversation to have. So the argument of, like, Hank Azaria shouldn't have been voicing Apu because Hank Azaria is white. And again, I get that that's a very difficult conversation to have because it's this whole concept of, you know, minstralism, the idea of, like, you know, back in the day where they were like, we don't want black people to act in our shows. Instead, we'll get white people and, you know, put them in blackface. And obviously, you know, that's not cool. Looking at you, Robert Downey Jr. But you then kind of get the complexity of, okay, but it's an animated series. Like, you know, is it the same thing? And I don't have an answer for that. Like, it's not one of those things where I'm going to be like, oh, but that excuses it. It's just, I get that it's a thorny question. And it's probably one that I don't have an answer for, and we probably will never have an answer for. But again, I also think it was, like we said, I think the writers kind of bitched out on it, because it's instead of taking an actual stance on things nowadays, it's usually just, cool, we'll just take the easiest out. Yeah, exactly. Well, again, I agree, Mike. Again, like, give him, you know, a story or whatever. But things, they've already given him a story. Like, they've already had plenty of really good episodes about the immigrant experience from Apu's perspective. Like, his wedding, and like, I get that the episode about him migrating has a lot of stereotypes in it. But again, they're the same stereotypes that The Simpsons always uses. They're done for comedy. And they're exaggerated to the point that you know they're comedy. So the one I'm going to reference is the one where he's saying that he graduated from the Calcutta University of Technology or whatever it was. And it's him accepting his degree, and it's a cobra comes out of a pot with the degree and hands it to him, sort of thing. And like, okay, it's the stereotype of, you know, India's full of cobras and it's a strange place where you get your degree from a snake or whatever. But by the same time, it's so bizarre that you know it's a joke. It's the same with, like, you know, the whole, when they go to Japan, the we now return to super seizure robots or whatever. Like they're playing with stereotypes in a comedic way as opposed to in a hurtful way. So yeah, I wouldn't say they needed to give him more stories about being an Indian in America, because I feel like they've already done a lot of that, but giving him a new voice actor could have worked. And you know, I respect when like voice actors died, like the voice actor for what's his face? The actor, what's his name? Troy McClure, that's it. When he died, and also when the voice for Mrs. Krabappel died, and they were like, we're not gonna recast them. I'm like, again, I respect that choice. Oh, singing crickets, nice. Exactly. What's my current objective? Okay, observe the group in secret. I'm confronting the bandits. That's enough, don't move. You're probably doing something good. You're saving the Inari. Ugh, Lisa goes gaga. Again, that's the problem with a lot of the modern ones, is they just tack onto some sort of modern, like, modern joke or modern meme or modern thing without really any good context. It's like when they did the baby shark thing. Like, that wasn't done as an amusing joke. That was just done as a, hey, what are the kids laughing at these days? Baby shark, cool, gotta make him do baby shark. Oh, speaking of, Jesus, my niece loves baby shark. And she'll be like, Ando, can I watch the baby shark? And I'll be like, not right now, dear. And she'll be like, but I want to watch the baby shark. Oh. Swing. Swing. Oops, sorry. Ow. Ow. Oh. I keep shooting my ally. I'm really bad at not killing this guy. Nice. Headshot. Exactly. But I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, they did the, hey, look, it's a famous person thing back in the day. I just think they did it less egregiously. I remember the one I was most disappointed by, and this was probably post-golden era of Simpsons, was Metallica. Exactly. Stop getting in the way of my arrows, you mook. At least it's not fucking Natalia from GoldenEye. But yeah, the one that always disappointed me the most was probably Metallica. Because I remember Metallica being on the show got hyped up a lot, and then it was like they were there for like all of 30 seconds for a gag with Otto. Swing. I'm covered in mud. Oh, I'm a muddy boy. Nice. Wind stance, bitch. Although I'm pretty sure, I swear James Hetfield had a cameo in a different episode of The Simpsons as well as a voice, but I don't think it was playing himself. Also, apparently what's his face? Why am I blanking on his name? Why am I blanking on his name? is in Always Sunny. So I started blasting. I'm blanking on his name because Ando is terrible with names as usual. Apparently, he was the guy who voiced Homer's long lost brother Herb. Apparently he's coming back. They're bringing back Herb for a new episode, and we're like, oh great, it's only been what, 20 years. Anyway, I should stop rambling about The Simpsons. I've kind of burnt myself out. Alright, they're all safe. We've rescued them. Excellent. Well, actually, I was going to say, maybe I should get into my samurai drip. I'm kind of looking like a bandit at the moment. Switch to Thundercats. I mean, what's there to talk about? Like, yeah, Thundercats Raw happened, all, like, what, 4 episodes of it. Like, yeah, the concept of Thundercats Raw sucked, but at least they had the courtesy to actually not really make any effort of it. Thundercats ho! Fuck Uncle Herb. Well, see, this is the one I actually kind of laugh about, right? Is you know the car, the Homermobile, right? I was talking with a friend about this. It was Farm I was talking about with ages ago, because a lot of people were comparing it to the Cybertruck, and I feel like if the Homer car had been made, if it had been made in the mid-90s and was real, we would be getting YouTube videos about it now, and it would be one of those things of like, hi, I'm Gazza from the Auto Channel, and today we're going to take a look at a car that took the world by storm in the 90s. It was going to be the latest groundbreaking thing in family automotive technology, but sadly went nowhere. You know, this is the story of the Homermobile. The most recent car video I watched was by a British guy. That's why I did that horrible British accent. But I feel like, yeah, if the Homermobile had been a real thing, I feel like it actually would have like been one of those cars that did develop like a cult status. Like it would have been a commercial failure, but there would have been all these people who were like, yeah, if it had been managed better, it would have been an actually really successful vehicle. Like, here's all the really cool things they did in the design. Because I love obscure machinery. I'm not a car guy, right? Like, I don't love cars for the sake of cars, right? Because some people are like, oh, I love a car. I love, you know, big vroom vroom. Love me V8. But there was an American car brand called Vector that unfortunately never went anywhere. But they were the American attempt to make a supercar. Because they were like, all these supercars, like the Ferraris, the Lamborghinis, the Maseratis, etc., the Porsches, they're all German, or, you know, Italian, or, you know, Spanish or French or whatever. They're all European. You know, we're America. You know, we're the home of General Motors and Ford. Like, surely we can make... Does he dip? Oh, no, he doesn't. Okay. I was really hoping he'd duck under the lintel on that one, but, they kind of were like, hey, we're the home of, you know, cars. Surely we should be able to develop our own supercar. And Vector actually kind of had some really cool designs, and some really cool, he took a lot of his engineering inspiration, the guy who owned the company, from aircraft. So it had like a little HUD display on the left side of the steering wheel that showed you like readouts of like how the engine was doing and stuff like that. There was a lot of really cool shit with it they did, and also in certain ways little smart things to make the car more production friendly. And some critics criticize that because for instance, it used just a standard commercial, that's right, X is that, not that. It used a standard commercial, like, Chevrolet steering wheel and stuff, and some people were like, oh, that seems cheap, and they're like, yeah, it's cheap, but it means we can get the car into production faster than having to design our own steering wheel, because who gives a shit about the steering wheel? Which I was like, huh, actually not too bad of an opinion. Whoop. So what is it? BBLLXLL. There we go. Schwing. But yeah, I love really obscure, like, or cool engineered, yeah, exactly, BBL, the Big Bash League. Oh, okay, I have no idea what BLL Drizzy is. Where was I going with this? Yeah, I love like obscure machinery and stuff. It's one of the reasons why if I would ever buy a motorbike, and the reason why I don't have a motorbike would be I want to get a Honda NH4 Voltus, the cool cyberpunk looking motorcycle, but they don't sell them in Australia. Last check, there's like 1 or 2 of them in the country that people special imported. And I have no idea why they don't sell them here. Because it's not like they don't meet our road certifications. It's just, I think Honda decided, hey, we don't want to fucking sell them. Okay. It's a song Metro Boomin. Okay, I have no idea who Metro Boomin is. Also, yeah. I will agree, it kind of sucks. I'm in a weird place with AI music. Because, like... So, AI art, right? And I get it's probably going to be in the same outcome. But, like, AI art, I don't like. Because AI art actively steals from artists. And you can tell this because, like, you can see where AI art attempts to forge signatures. And like, you know, people have pretty conclusively gone through the data sets and been like, yeah... You know, here's the leaked list of, like, all of the artists you guys were secretly referencing. And all that sort of stuff. And also, I have a problem with, like, again, the reason why the actors were on strike, because they didn't want AI versions of extras and things. I get that. But I feel like AI music, I'm unsure about some of that when it's like, cool, I made an AI song that's kind of imitating like the Motown style, but isn't necessarily copying any particular person. Because there's been a couple of like AI songs that I've enjoyed, because they are kind of just memey, like they're like a stupid meme song done in a particular style where I kind of go like, huh, like this is amusing. Like the Pimpzilla one I found amusing, and there's a couple that are like based on like that kind of 70s era like black disco music. But again, like you kind of go, huh, like this is a bit of a vibe. But then at the same and it's also one of those things of like you're not stealing a particular artist's music or anything, but then at the same time you're also kind of like, is this really okay? Because I don't want it to be disadvantaging artists in the future, right? Like I don't want people to just be like, cool, we don't need artists anymore, we'll just AI our music. Well, exactly, Avatar. It'd probably have less pushback if they use public domain, and also, you know, again, if they weren't intentionally trying to grift people. My big gripe with AI art is the fact that like AI art looks good for like that first instant you see it, and then you blink and actually look at the artwork and you see all the flaws with it. Like you see the anatomy problems and the bad line work and all the other just little things with it that are wrong. Because this is an argument I use quite a bit with it, where a lot of people like to try and pull that thing of the whole, what is it, good artists copy, great artists steal, the Picasso quote. And also fuck Picasso, like Picasso wasn't a good guy anyway, but where is my horse? But it's one of those things where it's like, by definition, right? Yeah, great artists steal, but by definition, great artists make great art. If you look at AI art, it fundamentally is not great. It has so many structural and like just flaws in its application, like flaws in the media that it has created, that it is not great art. Exactly, AI art passes the 20, but even then it doesn't pass the 20-foot rule. I feel like some of it genuinely doesn't. Like particularly early on, through no wish of my own, but because certain sites became absolutely fucking infested with AI art, I saw some absolutely fucking horrific AI anime porn, right? Like, I'm talking like human centipedes of like anime girl booba and stuff. Because people had clearly been like typing into Stable Diffusion attractive anime girl big booba hentai or whatever, and it would just make the most wretched fucking things. Now I get that some of this may have been for the memes of like, what's the most horrific thing I can make, but some of this was legitimately like, it wouldn't even pass the 20-foot rule. You'd be like, what the fuck is this? I love how I took the upgrade that's like, you can parry spear attacks with basic attacks, and it's like, cool, this guy's just going to use constantly unparryable attacks. Get fucked. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that one, Mike. And I think, again, this is the other point I was going to get onto, is I think a lot of people who stan AI art are the sort of people who have had the unfortunate upbringing of not understanding art as a thing of process. Like, the value in art is not just you have made a pretty thing. The value in art is the making of it, and the expression of skill in the making of it, and the expression of humanity in making of it. And I think a lot of people, particularly people from, shall we say, a wealthy background, because I have run into a couple of these people who are very much like the AI, like, they'll be like, AI art looks good, that's all that matters, right? Art's just about aesthetics. Art's just about how it, like, you know, it's just about making something that looks nice, because again, for them, they come from a background where art is commodified. Art is about having a pretty thing to hang on your wall so that people know that you're rich, not, you know, about actually making, like, they don't understand why art is valuable as a human creation. They understand art as valuable because someone puts a price on it. Yeah, and again, I'm not gonna lie, I've used AI art generation a couple of times. Why is it not letting me switch things? Okay, there we go. I've used AI generation a couple of times to experiment with stuff. Like, one time was because I wasn't sure how to articulate the concept, and so I was like, let me just throw in the vibes I want and see if I can get something out of it. But my only concern with using AI art, how could I not shoot through that, but he could? My only problem with using AI art for a reference is that my only problem with using it as a reference is sometimes I feel like there's the temptation to fall into the trap of like, oh cool, I was going to use this as a reference, but it's good enough, so I'll just use it as the final piece anyway. Unless you're an artist and your goal is actually to make something. Nice, leader killed. Oh cool, we're very close to unlocking Moon Stance. Yeah, actually, that was a big controversy recently. Oh, cool, Hero of the People. Golden Demon last year. So for those of you who don't know what Golden Demon is, Aprak, welcome in. How you doing? How you doing? We're playing the Ghost of Tsushima. We just became a Hero of the People. I'm rambling about AI art amongst other things. Ando as usual do be yapping. Yeah, Aprak is the goldenest of demons. Golden god amongst men. But no, for those of you who don't know what Golden Demon is, aside from Aprak, it's an annual painting contest held by Games Workshop. They started it back in like the mid 80s, I think, as, you know, a promo thing of like, hey, paint our models and win prizes. And it's regarded as one of the biggest painting contests for minis kind of in the world, really. It's not the biggest. I'd say it's one of the biggest, because there are some others nowadays. There's things like Crystal Brush and stuff like that. I'm doing pretty good, Eprak. I'm not dying too much. I haven't had many problems this stream, so that's pretty good. You know, I've been a bit curmudgeonly, but in the good way. How you doing, Ebrak? I hope you're doing well. The biggest is probably Golden Demon 2, Electric Boogaloo. Yeah, there was some controversy with Golden Demon last year because one of the finalists in the diorama category, I think it was the guy who actually won the diorama category. He did a really nice model of a Eldar Exodite, which is basically an Eldar guy riding a dinosaur, more or less. And the diorama was real good, but it had a background, like a jungle background, and it came out that the jungle background was AI generated. And there was controversy over that of is it kosher to use AI art in the first place? But then there was discussion of, like, is it okay for him to have used AI art if, like, that potentially contributed to his win? And then there was a further argument of, well, the backgrounds don't count, like, they don't count that in the scoring. It's, they just count, they just count the model and the base, and they're like, okay, but are you really sure that they do that, or are you just saying they do that? Like, surely, even if the judges aren't supposed to mark on it, like, it'll influence the outcome. And, the idea is, like, if he wanted to do a background, he should have hand-painted it rather than use AI or blah, blah, blah. And then people were like, well, what's the difference from him taking a photo versus using AI? Like, he could have just taken a photo somewhere and photoshopped it. Wouldn't that be the same? I don't know. It was an interesting conversation. Again, it was one I didn't really have an answer for. But yeah, it was interesting in how something relatively minor has an impact. Because again, it was literally just the background of this thing. It wasn't even like a main part of it. It was literally just some trees. Oh no, who is seeing me? Oh, you're on vacation in Tokyo. Awesome. Now, so you'd be probably like a couple of hours behind me, so it's probably like what, 9 o'clock there? I think Tokyo's 2 hours behind Australian East Coast time. But yeah, are you having fun? 10, okay, so 1 hour. Yeah, it varies if we're on daylight savings or not. Yeah, you having fun? What else? Because I can't remember. Eprak, you're in Japan full time, aren't you? You live in the Nihon, don't you? Or am I wrong? Am I thinking of someone else? Yeah, that Japan doesn't have daylight savings, but Australia does. Well, at least it does where I am. Mike, you hold your tongue. Yeah, okay, nice. So what do you, so you're just in Tokyo for your holiday, or are you checking out anything else? Daylight wardings? Exactly. Mike does not recognize this because Queenslanders are beyond any form of saving. They cannot be saved. Oh, that's right. This was the place with the this was the place with the thing that I got, the map. Yeah, no, I figured you probably didn't live in Tokyo, Eprak, but it was more just a case of like, are you just sticking to Tokyo for this holiday, or are you going anywhere else? Because like, every time I've gone to Japan, usually I've visited Tokyo, but I've also traveled around a bit. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and again, like, Tokyo's like that. Like, usually I'll spend like a week in Tokyo, and then I'll spend, the other part of my trip in other places. And again, like, I like Tokyo. It's a big place. It's full of interesting stuff. It does make me a little bit sad in that some things have changed since I was there last, and some of it arguably not for the better. In that, like, they demolished the train station at Harajuku, which was always a pretty charming building, and they've replaced it with something that's, shall we say, a bit soulless. I will say Abroad in Japan actually did a pretty good video about this with the architecture in Japan, where he kind of said, like, Japan has a bit of a problem where they don't really value a lot of their older buildings sometimes. Like they value the really old ones, like the old, like, samurai era stuff. But some of the more modern buildings they don't value as much. which often means that they're cool. Like, they're just like, oh, cool, well, we'll just demolish that and replace it with, like, the most soulless fucking office building you've ever seen. Because, yeah, you can Google this, but the old Harajuku train station was, like, a nice, like, it looked like a little German train station from, like, the 10s. Like, it looked like a nice little, like quaint building, and now it's just been replaced with, like, a glass box. Should I fight these Mongols? Maybe. Am I much into anime? The answer to that is yes and also no. So, I mean, were I not into anime, would I have become an anime turtle on the internet? Probably not. And I liked me some anime back in the day. I just don't have much time to watch much of it lately. I watched Dungeon Meshi, because Dungeon Meshi is based. But that's about the maximum of my recent anime watching. Oh yeah, also because I knew I was never gonna watch it. I found out how Boku no Hero ends. The ending is acceptable. I don't think it's terrible, but I don't think it's good either. A lot of people were complaining about the ending, and I'm kind of like, some of these complaints are valid. Some of it's just people being mad that Deku didn't become the most overpowered god unit of all time because we were spoiled growing up by Naruto and Goku becoming just absolute units. I mean, let's put it this way, Mike. The ending for Boku no Pico is really deep. It kind of really penetrates you in a way you don't expect. Oh, nice, the Dun Meshi Cafe. You're gonna have to April. What did you have? What did you enjoy? Oh no. What was your Dun Meshi? Your Dun Meshi? Ah, Dungeon Meshi. What Meshi did you have in the dungeon? Both days of One Piece Live. I didn't know there was a One Piece Live. Was it good? Yeah, it's just a wholesome family story, Avatar. I will say, it's been a long time since Boku no Pico was a common meme. Like, I remember back in the day when every time someone would be like, can you recommend an anime? Like, the first 3 responses would be Boku no Pico, Boku no Pico, Boku no Pico. Oh, for One Piece Day. Okay, cool. Again, I didn't even know that One Piece Day was a thing. Believe it or not, Ando has done very little with One Piece. I've watched a little bit of the anime, poorly dubbed in English. I have not read the manga. The One Piece is one of those ones, I know everyone says it's great, and it probably is great, but I could just never really vibe with the art style. Okay, cool. It's a yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. I love Metal Hattie, welcome in. Thank you for the flashbang. I love me some like music events. I got kind of sad because they had a music event for Gundam a while ago, but it was on during like while Japan still had the COVID restrictions, and I couldn't go. I was very tempted, but it was like, Ando, you will not be able to get into the country. It's like, oh fuck. I really want to, because I really want to see all the cool Hiroyuki Sawano music, because Hiroyuki Sawano is based. Yes/no, EPRAC. I did see some of the big Gundams. So I saw the 2 that were in Odaiba in Tokyo. I saw the Gundam Unicorn and the original RX-78. I haven't seen the big new Gundam. I haven't seen the big Strike Freedom. And I haven't seen the one that they put at Yokohama, the one that moves. I haven't seen that one. Also, I'll take your word for it, Hattie, that One Piece is peak. Again, I've heard good things. It's just one of those things where I could just never really get my teeth into it. And sometimes some things aren't for things. Yeah, no, I haven't seen the really big one, the one in Yokohama, the one that moves. Yeah, I heard that they tore it down. I heard that there's some rumors that they might move it somewhere, that they're gonna set it up somewhere else. Because that's what they did with the original one in Odaiba. it's moved around a couple of times. The original RX-78 they built like 10 years ago, it's been moved around a couple of times. But yeah, we will see. It was actually kind of interesting. I watched the documentary about them. I was going to say, Hattie, which Netflix show? I know the one you're talking about, the most recent one. I haven't watched it yet. I want to watch it. I will see how it goes. Because there are, like, I know a lot of people have been fussing about the mech design, and I am one of them. There are parts of the mech design I like, there are parts that I don't. I'm not a huge fan of the Gundam they have for it. The head on it looks weird. Ow. Yeah, for some reason, the head's real weird. Oh, the One Piece Netflix show? Okay, yes. I should watch that, actually, because, again, I've heard it's very good. I've seen some little bits of it. I saw the scene where Mihawk gets introduced. I saw the bit where Mihawk gets introduced and they get him on the phone or whatever, and he's like 1 minute and then has to like fight that dude who has like the 3 guns. You know, again, I've heard good things about the One Piece Netflix show. So in terms of Netflix anime adaptations, I've heard the One Piece one is good. I've heard the Yu Yu Hakusho one is okay. And I've heard that the Cowboy Bebop one is garbage. And I've also kind of been meaning to watch the Cowboy Bebop one just to see how garbage it is. But at the same time, I haven't been able to bring myself to engage in that suffering. And again, I'm glad that the One Piece one is good. Again, I want to watch the Gundam one that's coming out. So they've done a Gundam one. And I'll need to double check because about 3 or 4 years ago, Netflix announced that they were doing a Gundam adaptation, a live action one. And this new one that's coming out isn't live action, it's 3D CGI. And I'm not sure if they bitched out and were just like, it's too expensive to do a life-size Gundam, so instead we're just going to do 3D CG, and this is their adaptation. I'm not sure. I'll need to check. There are some things that I'm okay with. Because some people were complaining that, like, this particular ship that the Zeon forces use, like it's an aircraft carrier thing, they were like, oh, why did they change it? It's supposed to be purple, they made it green. And I'm like, well, yeah, but they're going for kind of like a realistic, like, military look for this. So them making it green makes sense, like, you know, oh, that's not even my horse. Fuck's sake, someone else's horse. Yes, them, like, you know, them changing the color, I don't mind. But some of the design changes, I'm a bit like, eh. And I'll agree with you on that, Hattie. Yeah, Netflix have a pretty variable hit rate when it comes to adaptations. I mean, kind of anyone does. And I get, like, adaptations are hard, but I feel like at the moment, I've talked about this before, I feel like Hollywood and media production in general has a bit of a problem. You are not my horse. Where is my horse? Yeah, has a bit of a problem of all the big companies just want established properties, right? They just want, hey, we've already got a brand. They just want that. And I think it's causing a problem. Like, the reason why all the writing is shitty is because none of the writers are getting to do their own thing. And so they're kind of getting, like, creatively constipated, if that makes sense. Because, like, imagine, like, you've got a story you want to write your own thing, and you pitch it to your guy, to your manager, and they're like, it's interesting, but nah, we want you to do, you know, a remake of Hawaii 5-0 or whatever. And you're like, oh, well, fuck, you know, I don't creatively want to write an adaptation of Hawaii 5-0, and so you wind up, like, writing all this bullshit because you're trying to, like, squeeze in your own creativity, right? Like, again, you haven't had a chance to do your own shit, so you wind up mixing in your shit with someone else's shit, and it just turns into a big pile of shit. It's like, and it pains me to reference this, but that Velma animated series, by what's her face, Mindy, I can't remember her last name. Yeah, it genuinely feels like she went into an office somewhere and pitched them a show about a character she'd come up with based off herself. And they were like, we're not interested, but we got this Scooby-Doo project. And she was like, sure, great. And just crossed the name of her to show off the script and put Scooby-Doo on it. Like, that's honestly what it feels like. That's how creatively bankrupt that show is. But yeah, I will take your recommendation, both Eprak and Hattie, to watch the One Piece adaptation. Also, I can't remember, did I ask, how you doing, Hattie? How is our favorite sock puppet abomination? Because yeah, my current viewing on Netflix is I have two things. I have so every so often I pick up a show that's garbage to watch. Like, it's not good, but it's just entertaining. So my current garbage show is that Nathan Fillion show, The Recruit, which it's not great, but it's good enough. It has Nathan Fillion in it, so I'm enjoying it. And then my other one that I'm watching is the last season of Cobra Kai, which is based. Cobra Kai is like, Cobra Kai is how you do nostalgia right. You know, it's had some rough patches. The show's not perfect, but I feel like the spirit is there. Like, the first season kicked it off right, and it's kept on going right. And it proves my long-held theory that any story is improved by adding martial arts to it, right? Like, it's essentially like teenage drama, add martial arts, show is improved. Yeah, I'd say it's definitely worth catching up on Eprak. Because I was always worried, well, again, I haven't finished, so they might fuck the landing, I don't know. But I was always worried that, like, because you know sometimes shows, like, they blow their load in like the first 1 or 2 seasons and then just absolutely fall off a cliff. Like, for me, Final Space did that. Final Space season 1 and 2 were good, and then season 3 just absolutely fell off a fucking cliff. But yeah, they haven't managed to do that with Cobra Kai, so it pleases me. That's actually another one that I kind of enjoyed and would like. It gave me some thoughts. Was the Power Rangers comics. So I have the collection of those, well, the up-to-date collection of those. There's still some others that I'm missing because they've released them after I got the collection. But it's a really interesting reinterpretation of the old story to the point where I'm like, there's some of this where I'm like, I would genuinely like to watch them make a show of this. Like, do a Netflix series of the comics of Power Rangers. Or at least the first arc, Shattered Grid. Do Shattered Grid and then do none of the rest, because none of the rest is good. Well, it's not bad, it's just that for some reason, the writers locked in on this one character and were like, he's gonna be a recurring villain for every fucking arc. And I'm just like, he's done. They beat him once. Don't bring him back. Stop bringing him back. We don't give a shit about Draken anymore. Please, stop. Especially when I see the concepts for, what's her fucking name? What's her name? She's the one from Turbo. Is it Toxica? Or whatever, anyway. I remember her name eventually. Ando, wonderful with names, as always. Survey. Where do we put archers? Nope. Alright, thanks for dropping by, Eprak. Enjoy your holiday. I will endeavor to have a good one. I love how we're just a fucking idiot, and Sensei is just like, no, not there, you moron. Excellent. I do kind of wonder why this dude just lives up a mountain. Like, is that a good spot for archery? I don't really know. Let me double check. Okay, no, I'm going that way. Whee! Oop, stuck in the bamboo. Stuck in the bamboo. It's like the bamboo in War Thunder that catches every single HE shell.
巴には他に何を
余さず教えた。
長尾家を去った言われさ
そろそろだ。用心しろ。
I'm wondering, did I just get too close and that's why he cut off? Or was he just like, he didn't want to answer that question? I'm right here. And soon you will not. Swing. Swing. With that katana like swing. Gordon is the strongest ninja. Man, I wish I could find decent quality copies of Godfrey Ho ninja movies so we can watch them in like the Discord or something, or even like on stream. I doubt anyone would care on stream. Yeet.
巴はおりません
進むぞ。
Arrows? Okay, got arrows. But yeah, I love classic martial arts movies. By Venom's Kid with the Iron Fist. Again, I kind of I don't know. I don't want to steal Sin's thing of being like cool movie nights, but at the same time, I kind of want to do some kung fu movie nights just because I appreciate the classics. Ah.
罪なき者まで殺めて巴は島民としての誇りまで捨てたのか
猛虎があやつに約束したのは権力、富、地位。ここでは得られぬもの。
Are you sure about that?
疎んじておったということか
大主は優しすぎるな。
優しさは強みです武士にとっても
誰の教えだ？孫子か？
叔父上です慈悲の心は仇にあらずと示してくださいました
志村殿が情けをかけた者は害なき者のみ。過つなよ。
I do like that, how he's like, who taught you that? Sun Tzu? And he's like, no, my uncle. But Sun Tzu did actually talk about that. Sun Tzu had the 5 virtues that made for a good leader, which I found quite interesting to read. I'm trying to remember what they are. It's courage, intelligence, compassion, sternness, and generosity, I think, if memory serves. Or is it generosity and then sternness? It's like, because one of them's hard to translate. It translates funny depending on which one you read. But it's like courage is, and the idea is that they're each codependent. So it's like a warrior with courage but no intelligence can be baited into foolhardy attacks. A warrior with intelligence but no compassion will be needlessly cruel. A warrior with compassion but no strictness will be like kind to the detriment of his men being ill-disciplined. A warrior with strictness but no discipline, or no generosity, creates disloyalty basically. Like your men won't want to follow you. Come here. There we go. Nice.
蛇の住処も後一つ。
But yeah, I always found that conceptually interesting. The idea of having, like, again, virtuous traits, but needing all 5 of them in balance. Where are we headed now? We're heading over there. Okay. Also, speaking of virtues, that reminds me of one of the greatest cult, well, the greatest but possibly worst cult classics of the 90s, The Warriors of Virtue. The kung fu movie about giant kangaroos. Because why the hell not? I still have a soft spot for it. It's very hammy. Also, strangely enough, one of the kangaroos is played by Scott McNeil, voice of literally everything of my childhood. The voice of Dinobot, Rat Trap, Silverbolt.
だぞ。だが次から次へと的に矢を当てようって。まったく度肝を抜かされたわ。
鍛えていたのでしょう。
構えは不格好。あれでは戦に向かぬ。だが矢を外すことをためらわぬ。度胸だけはあった。
天賦の才か。
殺しの才だ。気
Hmm.
づくのが遅すぎたがな。
Again, from a story perspective, I'm really enjoying this quest. Like, it's a very Urasawa style, like, framing of things. And I guess a very Japanese framing it in the conceptuality of, like, something being virtuous in one context but not in another. Again, tracing back to kind of that Shinto and that Taoism aspect of, like, balance. Send your best warrior. Oh, damn it. I beefed it. My bad. Ow. Survive. Swing. Ow. Oh. Damn it, Sensei. Oh, I'm wasting like all my arrows. Again, this is the problem I have with fighting alongside any ally who's an archer, is the fact that they always ruin my shots because they shoot. Ruin my own shot or strike. Ah. Where are they? Oh, there they are. Can I... Come here. Oh, I think we're gonna unlock Moon Stance tonight. That's nice. Come here. Ow. He bonked me. Nice.
石川はいるか。
己何用だ。
ああ、ことづてがある。
モーセ。
石川、広しの民はすべて命を乞うことになる。長尾博則に撃たれた者の。
黙れ。
Oh, is that why you left the clan? Nice. I've learned the Moon Stance. Interesting. Okay, so part of it's about the clan he used to be in. Moon Stance is highly effective against brutes. Heavy attacks deal extra stagger damage. Why spinning strike? Right trigger to change stance. Okay, nice. Whirlwind. Yeah, let's learn Whirlwind. I want to try my new stance.
長尾博則賊に殺されたはずでは。
昔の話だ。
優れた弓取りだったと聞きます。弟子だったのですか。
いや、すべて巴のデタラメだ。
すべてではないでしょう。
疑心暗鬼にさせるための。
Either he trained him or he is him.
わしら二人しかおらんからな。
ならば信じましょう。
Alright, I reckon Ishikawa is actually
村の守りを練らねばならん。
Hironoi Nagao or whatever.
手が整ったら道場に来い。
I reckon that's gonna be the reveal. It's like he is that dude.
よし、影。
Hmm. We got time for one more, I think, maybe. Nice. Moon stance. All right, let's try this out. Interesting. Okay, that is a very interesting stance. I'm not sure I would, where's the cut coming from? Where's he? Okay, so it's a stomping high. So that's a high. Okay, so the forward cuts make sense. The overhead ones, that one kind of doesn't. So those kind of make sense, even if the steps are a bit high. That one's kind of weird. The undercut is pretty reasonable. Yeah, the kicks again are kind of weird. And then the big overhead swing, interesting. Yeah, I don't know if I like Moon Stance. Like, I still think Stone is the absolute fucking classic. Let's go fucking see Ishikawa. Let's ascend the mountain, go see Ishikawa, and finish this one off, and then we might call it. But yeah, maybe we'll get a chance to take Moon Stance out for a spin. Mr. Moon? Because I feel like, is there... I can't remember. Is there an extra stance? I thought there was one called Ghost Stance, but maybe I'm wrong. Sensei? Oh, he's got a little Zen garden. This makes sense, Pebble Garden. I feel bad for walking in his Pebble Garden. This makes sense because in Kyudo, which is Japanese traditional archery, there's a very strong link between Zen and archery. And traditionally, when you're doing Kyudo, because there's Kyudo and then there's actual like traditional art. So there's two different types of archery. There's Kyudo and then there's another type of archery, which is like the actual combat archery. And one of the things in Kyudo is that every time you do a set of shots, you always take the first shot and it goes high. Like the point is you miss the target, because it's all about this whole idea of like the first one is imperfect because then you accept failure or whatever. Yes, Ishikawa. The Way of the Bow. Man, this is making me miss Monster Hunter a little bit, where it does the whole like, oh, the devil that lives in the river. Not just that. It's about you. She wants revenge on you.
巴は勝利に酔いしれ、用心を忘れる。その隙を叩く。
But what about the people?
犠牲にするとおっしゃるのですか。
その価値はあるであろう。
それでは巴と同じです。
確かにな。巴は北から来る。そちらに注力しよう。
これより高台に行き、矢を置き。
酒井、聞こえたか。
Man, this has made me want to play what is it? Test of Honor or Contest of Honor? They made a samurai skirmish game. Alright, it's fucking Moon's dance time. Ow. Okay, it's time to get stabbed. That's what time it is. That explains why I wasn't doing any fucking damage to him. There was a guy here who needed to be mercied. Can I mercy him? Yes. You there.
やはり打ち手を放ってきよったか。
我らを狙うにしては
Just me covered in mud talking to Sensei.
稼いでおるのか。
日吉の湯が襲われている。
行くぞ。
Should I switch to my Yumi?
わしが死んだら、お主が巴を殺してくれ。
心得ました。
巴はお主も殺し、わしの技を滅ぼす気だ。
さようなことは決してさせません。巴はどこを狙う？
村の裏手の滝の近く。あそこは手薄だ。
猛虎より先につけば備えもできましょうが、果たして。
難しいであろう。
I'm wondering, should I... What I might do is I might switch out for Taded, what's his dude's armor. Samurai Clan helmet. Oh, it's a big hat. Nice. I like big hat. Anyway. This may help me shoot better. Also, I love it how it kept all the dirt. Or did it? I don't know. I can't tell. Thought it did. You two, come here.
猛虎が日吉に向かっておる。
皆を宿に集めて隠れておれ。敵はわしらが。
はい、そのように。
Ah, there's a barrel full of explosives. Appropriately placed. Why were these peasants carrying hay and explosives?
挟み撃ちの心配もなさそうだ。
Oh, are these heavy arrows?
急がねば地の利をどう生かす。
Hang on, let me just do a cheeky swap. Yeah, longbow time. Got that demon longbow.
何もないか。
ありものを使うまで。樽で痛手を与えられるやも。
The infamous red barrels.
誘い込むか。
火の矢は持っておるか。
蜂の巣か。
Bees.
火の矢を持て。わしらまで燃やすでないぞ。
Oh, nice flaming arrows.
ならば下がっていてください。
備え。猛虎が来る。
Absolutely fucking savage.
奴らです。
よし、わしの弓術を解くと見るがいい。降りてくるぞ。
Oh,
一夜一冊で参る。
we have another infiltrator. Sensei, move.
まずまずの出来だ。
造作もない。
抜かるなよ。街道から来るぞ。
任せよう。
Fuck's sake. Did I just kick him onto what's his face's arrows? I think I did. Bees. Ow. Fucking archers, I swear to God. Ow. Ow. There we go, nice.
ひとまずは
No, you fucking crawl away. Alright. I need to purge someone from chat. Dunno. Dishonorable. Shameful display. Tell me your answers.
来よったな。
Ah. We finally get to see her.
あれが巴
Is she wearing a kitsune? Is she wearing a kitsune mask?
捕らえましょう。
今からでは間に合わぬわ。
腰抜けめ。
いや、バカにしておるのだ。巴の前の弟子が長尾博則だと知っておる。
Oh, you're right. It was Hinonori Nagano.
どちらです？
かつてのわしは若く傲慢で無情だった。博則はその姿を真似て兵を率いて謀反を起こした。
Ah.
隠れたものの長尾家の精鋭を道連れにしよう。
Ah.
族と戦った末。
I'm wondering, is she the daughter of someone that died?
長尾家を守るための作り
Or is maybe she's the heir to the Nagao clan or something?
わしはすべての信頼を失った。情けとして指南役のみ降ろされてな。ああ、休日を失わずに済んだと己を慰めたが、 見てみろ。こんなものに何の価値がある。
巴にも聞かせたのですか。
わしが再び弓を教える意味を知ってほしかった。結局あやつにも裏切られたがな。
広則の罪も償えず、巴の心も変えられず。しかし、日吉の民を救ったのは確かです。
新たな弟子と共にな。
金田の木に来てくだされ。
I love it how he's like, with my new student. I swear this guy hasn't fucking taught me anything.
必ず捕らえねば。
He gave me a bow and he hasn't actually taught me anything. Aside from the fact that he's a dick. Alright, I think we'll call it there. We have successfully learned the way of the bow through having not been taught anything. Didn't even give us the decency of giving us a Mr. Miyagi. He didn't even give us the wax on, wax off or anything. He literally just wanders around, says stupid shit. It's just him being like, we should sacrifice all these peasants. And it's me being like, no, don't sacrifice the peasants. He's like, you're probably right. Alright. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Go find someone to raid. Go find someone to raid Reno. Hoomst is on Twitch today. Duplicate Reno. Fuck to Twitch. Yes, we will be back. We will be back on Thursday with Dredge. We'll be dredging. And then on Friday we'll be over on Sin's channel playing the monster road trip. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm really keen for Dredge, so make sure if you want some comfy sailing vibes, check it out. I checked the... Oh, it's a birthday stream. It's Astrid's birthday, I think. We'll go raid Astrid. Fantastic. Love that shit. I'm pretty sure Dredge is out. I'm pretty sure Dredge is out Thursday, Sin. I checked the release. It comes out on the 15th. So I'm pretty sure it's Thursday. If not, I'll make something up. No problem. If it isn't. But yeah, I checked. So Pale Reach was 1 to 3 hours of gameplay. Dredge, the new one, Steel Pinnacle or whatever it's called, is 2 to 5 hours, I think. So it'll be at least more. So I'll hopefully get 2 streams out of it. If it is late Thursday, well then next week we'll do Dredge. But again, if Thursday's Dredge, Thursday's Dredge. If it's not Dredge, it's not Dredge. we'll make do. Thank you for your concern, Boyson, worst person of stream, smelliest of cats. Anyway, we're gonna go raid Astrid. If you have the emotes, you may use the emotes. If you don't, then that's okay. And also Avatar, yes, behave. Everyone else can be on medium behavior. Avatar must be on the utmost of behavior. We're gonna go see Astrid. Also, why is my recommendations sucking? Why did it take me that long to get Astrid? Anyway, we'll go see Astrid for the birth. Remember to say happy birthday. Anyway, as always, my name is Takama Ando. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching me play Ghost of Tsushima and not suck. We're gonna go see Astrid and wish her the happiest of birthdays. Oi.
Oh yes, welcome back to Astrid's wine tasting. Here we